Last time on Madness Calls It Forth. Investigating some disturbances in the nearby community of Whitecliff, the team finds themselves in the middle of what at first seems like random gang violence. Calvin Sirius, Rift of King Arthur and local community member, reveals his crusade to save his community from corrupt police and politicians, and with that achieved, to awaken his enclave called Albion. Lexi and Calvin joined forces, united that no one man should rule the city, and they came together to take down Payne, or, as they know it, the Crimson King. But where do Calvin's allegiances lie? Is he fit to take down Payne, or will he cause just as much chaos in the process? Prologue. The door to the mirror swings open on a bright spring afternoon, the antithesis of Officer Chavi Das's attitude, as she slumps into the stool in the center of the bar. We see a glimmer as Lexi looks up from her seat by the window, but it seems neither Graham nor Das notice that she's there. "I'll have a beer, any beer. Don't worry, I'm off duty," she says, pulling off her hat and laying it next to her. "How was the funeral, Chavi?" says Graham, popping a cap and sliding over a bottle of something cold. "Good, but it hurt." There's a long pause as Officer Das drinks. She says, "You know, I was hoping Lexi would be here. I'm worried about this neighborhood without her here to lead it." "Yeah," Graham replies, "she's been distant." "Well, I hope she knows what she's doing," she responds. "She can't just disappear. She made some odd choices in her life, but I can't believe she would abandon Soto. I know that home means something. I know that home means something to Lexi." It's quiet again as Officer Das finishes off her beer, pulls out some bills from her wallet, and picks up her hat from the bar top before quietly leaving. Finally, clouds start to drift over the glaring sun. As the smell of petrichor descends on the city and Das shuffles back home, rain starts sporadically, and the scene fades to black.
The sky is gray, times are changing. This is the end of everything, but it's hard to say goodbye. In my dreams, we were meant to be, but everything feels wrong. Just doesn't feel right. It just doesn't feel right. Just doesn't feel right. Just doesn't feel
Hello and welcome to TPK Roleplay for Madness Calls It Forth, a City of Mist campaign based on the Knights of Paynetown. This is a content warning. Before we begin, Knights of Paynetown is a dark noir-style campaign written by Son of Oak Studio and deals with issues like violence, emotional trauma, death, suicide, among other disturbing themes. This particular episode has warnings for familial trauma, emotional manipulation, home insecurity, ghosts, gore, and, as is the nature with stories, the campaign has historical, religious, and contemporary allusions that some viewers might find disturbing. Please know that those of us around the virtual table have given our consent to explore these topics together as respectfully as we can. But if you, the viewer, should feel uncomfortable at any point, please make sure to step away, get some air, stretch your legs, and join us again later. For more information on mental health services available to you, use !GET HELP. Tonight's episode is Home is Where the Heart Is. Before we get into downtime like we normally do, I have an after intro scene 1. This takes place with Celine Caliburn at your grandmother's office. The heat is oppressive in the office, just like you've had it. Just like it's been every time you've been before, Celine. She holds up a daily press newspaper as you enter. Sensing you enter, she folds the issue and places it carefully onto the desk in front of her. You feel a hole open up in the pit of your stomach as she locks eyes with you. What do you do, Celine?
Grandmother, and I will just step forward a little further into her parlor.
I'm very disappointed in your work in Whitecliff, Celine. A surprise election. Who even is this social climber Kelvin anyway? Despicable if you ask me.
He seems to want good for the community.
That's not what I brought you in here for. It doesn't matter if he wants good for the community. He is not the person I was backing in that part of the city.
I am aware of that, Grandmother.
I asked you very clearly to visit the Chinese restaurant, to calm things down. And what did you do? You elected some random man off the street.
Not everything is always in our control, Grandmother.
Everything is in our control. We're Caliburn Enterprises. We basically own this city. That's neither here nor there, though. Today, I want to talk to you about Wildknock.
Wildknock?
It's a part of the city, just like Whitecliff. Caliburn Enterprises is in the process of buying up all property in Wildknock, but some residents are resisting, and Mr. Payne needs to stop pestering my lawyers. This is your chance to redeem yourself, Celine.
Pestering about what?
He seems to think what we're doing is illegal, and it's not. We're trying to buy up all the property and sell it off to developers.
What developers would these be?
Ones that'll turn Wildknock from just a nobody part of the city into something more profitable. It'll make Caliburn Industries quite a lot of money.
Of course. All about furthering the empire. And why does he seem to have such problem with this, other than its supposed legality?
They are trying to protect the citizens that live in Wildknock.
Are they in need of protection?
No, they need to leave. Wildknock is on the decline.
I understand. This is a typical raise rent, vacate, and then sell off operation?
Something like that. Do you think you can handle it?
I will do my best, Grandmother. Do we not have a responsibility towards the citizens of this city?
A responsibility, Celine?
We have this empire, but for what purpose?
I don't like what's gotten into you, Celine. Sure, your crusades of public interest have been nice throughout the years. They've certainly put Caliburn Enterprises in a good light. Don't think they're doing very much any good.
Publicity, Grandmother.
Of course not.
If that will be all.
It will. Don't think I won't cut you off, Celine. Without your family, you are nothing. Good day.
Okay.
And with that, the scene shifts. What have the four of you been doing since the last episode? Whoever wants to go first.
So I can go first. So Lexi, kind of near the end of the last episode, as she's understood what rifts are and what her power is more and more, she has decided that, like, the best thing she can do to keep her own power contained and understand, like, the story that it's trying to play out is to know more about it. And she's not had a name for her her rift so far. So she asks the smartest person that she knows, which is, of course, Ami, and gets pointed kind of in the right direction, and it ends up spending like a whole day at the library. And we get this montage of her going through books and trying to find things that click, things that feel right. And eventually, she finds this translation of Beowulf. And at first she thinks it might be Beowulf, but then she's like, no, that's wrong. And she gets further in, and she thinks it might be Grendel, and that's wrong. And then she hits on Grendel's mother. And what we see is like a montage of her finding the sections about Grendel's mother and trying to like make sense of it, between herself and her rift and the almost the void where information should be about this character who is part of an incredibly well-known work of fiction, and how bendable it is in the hands of the people who translate it. So she spent a lot of time studying her mythos, and now she has a closer bond with it and understands it better, and thinks she might be able to, like, in the same way that a translator recontextualizes and repens a character, she thinks she might be able to bend and rewrite and recontextualize her rift.
Okay. Celine, you're technically next on the overlay. Do you want to go?
I've been spending a lot of my time very quietly organizing some of my affairs. I've always had personal holdings, a lot of real estate properties in my own name, not just the family's name, and a lot of my clinics, my outreach clinics and free healthcare clinics, were set up under my name and my own personal companies that I have. And I have just been quietly going about and organizing things to make sure that they are well and far removed from any Caliburn Enterprises holdings, because I expect that soon I may have to part ways as I discover more and more about my family's involvement with whatever is going on.
Makes sense. Mechanically, what'd you do?
Working on my secret Payne, spending a lot of time preparing for the inevitable question that I always ask myself, and whatever the answer may be. Which is, are we the baddies?
Lexia, that was your doing too, right? No, you're working on your mythos. That's what it was, right?
Yeah, I checked in with my mythos. It's the first time I haven't worked on my secret Payne in episodes.
It's fine. And you got an upgrade for that, right?
Yeah, I did the whole shebang. Got an upgrade. Cleared my fade on that theme.
Nice.
Bish bash bosh.
Bish bash bosh. I just realized I totally forgot what the overlay looks like, so sorry for skipping to you, Luca. Who wants to go now, Chrissy or Ikaj? Don't all speak at once, people.
Go ahead. Okay, so Ami, during the last episode, became the owner of a weapon, a large stick with an engraving down the side. It is a little bit more intimidating probably than just a stick, but it was crafted by a new, I don't want to say friend, but someone that she's a little bit more familiar with now, named Roxy.
We can use the game term. It's an ally.
An ally? All right. Well, I don't know if she's an ally yet. I guess,
okay.
Well,
that's fine.
I mean, I guess maybe. I don't know. We'll see.
We'll see.
But she's been training, basically, steadily with Roxy. Roxy makes kind of like these mech creatures that this gentleman is going to be using for the end of days or whatever that looks like for fighting Corbin. So she's been kind of training that way, just preparing for the next segment and next fight, I guess.
Okay. Mechanically, you are
preparing for the next activity.
Cool. You've got 3 juice based on how you got there, so you can do some cool ass shit with your cool ass stick. Last but not least, Father John, what have you been up to?
So I think he has been trying to focus more on, whereas previously he was kind of like stuck and living in the past and living with his like regrets and his mistakes of the past. I think now he's trying to focus on the present and hopeful future. And so I think he
actually has a future now. Shocking.
Yeah, well, I mean, he never thought he did. And I think he always tried to make sure he didn't. But now he's thinking about it. So he's been kind of back at church. He gave his first sermon recently. His first official back in the swing of things sort of thing. I don't know how things have been going with Martha at this point. I think she might be kind of standoffish after their last discussion that they had.
Mm-hmm.
But I also think he's trying to focus on maybe assisting in the efforts in whatever plans our new friend has in the fight against Corbin. And I think he's just getting back into his old scrappy self that he was when he was younger, just ready for a fight, and still remembering his past, but not living in the past at this point.
Okay.
And so mechanically, he has been working on his hidden pain.
Okay.
Which I think would bring him down to 2.
Oh damn. Okay. Tell me, in this process, what has been the biggest revelation? If you're going to come that close to, dealing with your secret pain, what is the biggest revelation that he has in those months or that time?
I would say his biggest revelation is just accepting what's happened. And even though he might not be happy with things that have happened, accepting it and trying to focus on what's important now, what's important for the future.
What is important to Father John?
Helping his friends, helping his community. That's the reason he kind of took to the cloth anyways. He thought it was just a way to hide, but in reality it was just something that he could find rewarding while being a distraction.
Interesting. Well, thank you all. Our next scene takes place with Calvin Cirrus. Do you have any ideas of where you want this scene to take place, or shall I take care of it?
What would be neutral territory for us? Because I don't think Lexi trusts him enough to bring him to the mirror.
Okay.
We're all at the taco shack.
if you want
That's
to.
actually not a bad idea. Yeah. We're at one of the picnic tables near the taco shack.
Interesting. I wasn't expecting this, but this will work. Hold everything.
I was kidding, but
Hey,
I just had tacos.
I mean, if we want it to be somewhere else, it could be somewhere else. But it's neutral territory.
Celine, are you with them?
Yeah.
Okay.
I feel like I would have been reaching out and keeping in touch with things as I'm going about just quietly organizing my side of stuff. But if Lexi had mentioned that they were going to be doing this at the taco shack, I would have come along. Driving myself.
Okay. You find yourself in Wildknock because the Cactus Shack truck is parked on the edge of Wildknock Main Street. What used to be a pretty profitable spot for them has very quickly dried up. And this might be the last time they spend in Wildknock because there are customers that come every 10 to 20 minutes but then seem to rush away.
Sorry, for continuity's sake, we're actually at Rosa's Tacos, which is the truck. Cactus Shack is the taco time.
You're right.
Or,
Okay.
sorry, Taco Bell. Taco Time's just where I live.
So you're at Rosa's, which is what? Rosa's Taco Truck? Just that's what it's called?
Just Rosa's.
Rosa's? Okay.
It might have other things on the sign, but everybody calls it
Thank you for
Rosa's.
actually remembering this, because I did not. You're at Rosa's Tacos.
Question for clarity.
Mm-hmm.
Are we saying Wildknock like night in German? Or
No.
okay, like
Wild and knock on a
like
door.
knock on a door. Okay. Check.
Desolation and empty streets are all that welcomes you to Wildknock. The densely built district, with its rows of tenements and townhouses, almost seems abandoned. You spot one or two residents crossing the street alone, looking over their shoulders, as if hurrying to find shelter. Loosely boarded up windows rattle as the wind blows through hollowed houses. There we go. The very street seems emaciated, drained of life. And there are large posters with Caliburn Enterprises, new development coming soon. But the current situation seems pretty dire. You ask yourselves, why did everyone leave? And you settle down to tacos. You find that the tacos themselves, if you decide to take a bite, are not as fulfilling as you once remember them being. And maybe you stop after a couple of bites and put it down and address Calvin. I'm glad I have you on my side. It's going to be a lot to rise up against the Crimson King. But there's some things I haven't told you, and I think you ought to know.
I mean, yeah, whatever you got, shoot.
Well, we're different than people around here, obviously, if you haven't noticed. I don't know what you call it, but you're connected to stories, is that right?
I just like a quiet nod.
Do you remember the story of King Arthur?
I think Celine might be a little bit more familiar with that than we are.
Books, not really my thing.
What about the story?
It is my belief that the story of King Arthur has been following me. More than just one life, that is. You see, I remember things from past lives. In fact, I've lived a life trying my best to take down the Crimson King for many, many years. And every time I try, Either he is reborn or I am. Every time someone awakens as King Arthur, my memories come flowing back to me. Calvin Sirius might be the embodiment of King Arthur now, but I remember everything from the first time I fought against the Crimson King.
Are you like the Highlander?
I'm sorry, I don't recognize that reference.
You're talking about King Arthur and you've never watched Highlander?
That was actually a really good reference, yeah.
Sorry,
That's a good flick.
I guess I just didn't have time for it.
You're telling me you've lived several lives and you've never watched Highlander? Like, not even once? He's had bad taste in all of his lives.
Now, can we be serious for a second? Because the Crimson King is not something to be trifled with. He is pure hatred. He is misery. And he has taken those that we love from us. And Calvin reaches into a wallet and pulls out a very anachronistic almost photograph of someone from basically when the city began. And you look at this photo and realize that, like, there are cracks all along the surface of the photo, and there is a big blur right in the middle where a young girl's face is. She's got dark hair, just like Calvin's short cropped dark hair, and her face is a blur, and you can see that when he has to look at her, it like takes all of his effort to hold it together. I don't remember her name. He took her from me, and I can't even remember her name. Can you imagine what that must be like?
Surprisingly enough, I can. His people, the Grail Knights, one of them was working on some kind of chemical, and they had hundreds of gallons of this stuff. But as soon as you touched it, things would just... And she kind of makes a gesture like peeling a sticker off a sheet, or like pulling something away.
Mm-hmm.
I only touched a bit of it, but I couldn't remember my son's face for days.
Then you understand what we're facing against. The powers of him. He ruins everything in this city.
I mean, you don't gotta convince us this guy's an asshole who needs to get taken out.
But he
Believe us.
can't be just taken out. He has the Grail. When you sip from the Grail water, you can never die. And so every time I have killed off the Crimson King, he comes back to life to continue the misery he spreads across this city. That is why I had to take over Whitecliff. You understand? I can use my powers to help take down the Crimson King once and for all. I just need to accrue energy. I need to follow my mythos. I need to follow the path of King Arthur.
Don't a lot of King Arthur stories end badly?
I've done this enough times. I know what I'm doing.
So what is it you propose?
In the King Arthur story, or at least one of them, he slays the questing beast. I'm looking for a beast of legendary power, that by taking it down, I can accrue that within Albion. Then I just need to find somebody who can control that power and bring about the end of the Crimson King's reign. Are you with me?
What, you saying I gotta slay a fucking dragon? What is this thing?
I'm not sure what it is. I'm looking for something. Anything. But, something is certainly scaring the residents here, can't you tell? There are monsters that lurk in the night. The mist covers up. Makes us think they're just disappearances. People leaving town. But I know better than that. The mist took my daughter. Yes?
Of Celine's understanding that what's scaring the citizens of Wildknock is Caliburn Enterprises trying to get people out of the neighborhood so that they can bulldoze down old buildings. So, like, how much do I assume is that versus what he's talking about with the mist snatching them away, and also is the sigil for Caliburn Enterprises a dragon?
I can't answer those questions. Those are for you. If you think that it's only Caliburn Enterprises, that's up to you to decide if this is new information or if you want to provide that information. Whatever the crest is, that's up to you. And to clarify, he's not saying the mist is taking them.
But
what he's saying is that, which you should already know at this point, is that the mist covers up things that normal people don't realize. So you can use your powers, and normal people will think that, oh, you crashed a car, oh, a gas line exploded, when really it was something to do with your mythos powers. He's saying that something is being covered up in Wildknock.
I'm just gonna kind of look to the side at Lexi. I do know that Caliburn Enterprises is very interested in the properties here and seeing those that are currently occupying those properties, seeing that they're out of them.
Have you ever, and this is just to Celine, have you ever opened your eyes near your grandma? And I want to not have any connotation lost here. I literally mean, have you checked to see that your grandma's a rift or not? Is she a rift or a sleeper?
I will look over and I have not. No.
This whole thing, it's tangled. The world is tangled in it. What's happening in our stories affects where we live, and where we live helps shape the stories. So, look, I wouldn't want to blame her for what's happening, but you know how I feel about the woman.
Yes. I'll have to look next time I'll meet with her.
Listen, I have to go, but you should take a look around Wildknock. Something isn't right here. Can I trust you to look into it?
Yeah. And if we find your questing beast, what then?
needs to be taken down.
By you or just in general? Because if it's your story...
I think if you are willing to join me in this fight, I will fight at your side. And anything you do will help us all in the Albion. You let me know when you have more information, okay?
Can we either get your cell number or...
He gives it to you.
Yeah.
If you can't find me, just make sure you call the office. Someone will help you. And with that, he heads out. He's wearing a big, thick, black biker jacket. Kind of a departure from the look he's had previously. But as he gets on his bike and rides away, you feel like you can see a glimmer of a golden crown atop his head. And then he is gone.
I feel less good about being caught in a war between two undying kings than I did about having an ally who knew about Corbin.
With that, you hear one of the gentlemen of Rose's tacos closing up the truck for good, and he says, "I'm sorry, folks. I got to close up early today. I'm not getting a lot of business here.
Do you need us to help fold the tables?
I mean, if you wouldn't mind, I'm a bit of a hand short since Rose has been gone."
Rose is gone?
Yeah. Yeah.
Like, gone, or...
Like missing persons gone?
Yeah. Something like that. It's not like her to just leave. Like, she might not be the best cook, but she is the reason that I started...
Watch your mouth there, son.
Listen. She might be the face of Rose's Tacos, but I'll let you in a secret that they're mostly my cooking. Not to burst her bubble, but she was the life and the soul of Rose's Tacos, that's what you see. Everyone who got one from her was always satisfied. I don't understand it, but if it weren't for her, Rose's Tacos would not be as successful as it were. But she came to me scared a couple days ago, and she hasn't been the same since. And then she up and disappears.
It was just a couple days ago that she disappeared?
Yeah, she claims she witnessed a murder. Of course, I didn't see it, but...
Where'd you see her last?
She was heading home after one of my last shifts here. He points his way towards one of the alleyways that leads back into the main part of the city, and just says, "Well, she headed off in that direction." And she said that when she got home the next day, she said that she had seen someone, with a big mask on, and dragging a body through the alleyway. I said she should talk to Reverend Williams down at the church down the way there. And she did, but I'm not sure if it did much good. I don't know if she's scared or if someone's got her. But I couldn't just close up shop. I need the money. You understand?
No, yeah. I don't think she'd want you to just close up completely. I mean, we know some folks who kind of, make looking up things like that kind of job. Do you have her address? Maybe we can try and get in touch with her, or see if we might be able to see what's going on. Any kind of help.
Yeah, I'll see what I can do. Totally.
All right.
And with that, you finish folding up tables, you load up the truck, and he putters out of town, leaving you with more information about Rosa. You also know that he mentioned the Church of the Sacred Heart, Sacred Spirit, which is a local church, and she lives alone. And locally, and
In Wildknock, or
yeah, let's say in Wildknock. Yep.
Well, we can either do the smart thing and stay together while we carefully investigate this, or we can do what we normally do and split up.
Once you guys have decided what you want to do, we're going to take a short break. So let me know what you're thinking, and we will reconvene after the break.
Lexi is like about to say something and then just like looks at Ami and avoids making a call right then. What do you think, Ami?
Ami does not look up from tacos. She is inhaling what are they, birria tacos, where she's like dipping in the sauce and just faces in the cup, just inhaling. And she's just gonna give a shrug. Sure, sticking together sounds fine.
All right. Hopefully it means we can do things quicker than whatever complications splitting up might have. All right, do we want to check out the apartment first or hit up this church?
Church is closer. Let's go there.
Sounds like a plan.
With that, we're going to take a short break, and we'll be back in 5 minutes. Thank you for sticking around. Hello, and welcome back to Madness Calls It Forth, a City of Mist campaign based on the Knights of Paynetown. Last we left our adventurers, they found themselves in Wildknock, a strangely quiet part of the city. People are disappearing or leaving the city, and no one quite knows why. So, before we left, you decided you wanted to visit the church.
Yep. You said it's the Church of the Holy Spirit?
Yes. No, the church. Yeah, the Church of the Sacred Spirit.
Sacred Spirit.
I just realized that Luca is like super janky in her frame.
Do I need to move?
Can you scooch? Yeah, keep scooching that direction.
I can't actually.
Okay, you're
scooch
good.
any
That's
further.
fine. Just making sure. I just should have looked it up before and I just forgot. Upon entering the Church of the Sacred Spirit at Wildknock, one feels protected, as if they entered a safe haven. The small church is a humble, dimly lit, and quiet place. The pungent smell of incense drifts in the air. It seems like the sights and sounds of the outer world are forbidden from entering here. The only noise is the soft echoes created by the few visitors slowly pacing on the stone floors. What do you want to do?
I guess John will look for anyone that seems like an official there, since he's probably the most familiar with churches.
You're going to find the Reverend Keisha Williams. She is dressed in very standard day-to-day robes, and she is a kind of thick woman with dark hair and kind of a equal parts piercing look, but also unbelievably kind. So it looks like she could, whip you into shape if you got into trouble, but also knows that the power of of love is really important here, and seems to be almost emanating the source of peace that you find in this place.
There's Keisha Williams.
Correct.
So John will approach and kind of signal, Reverend Williams?
Oh, hello, Father.
Yes.
I don't think I've seen you around here before.
No, we've only met in passing at the inter-congregational picnics every once in a while.
Lovely times, yes.
Yes.
I don't think I remember your name, but you do certainly sound familiar.
Father John Buchanan. Father John's fine.
You can call me Keisha, Reverend Keisha Williams.
Reverend Keisha, perfect. Actually, we were wanting to stop by because we've heard about a mutual friend of ours who we think we might have lost touch with, or we just want to check on, see how she's doing. Rosa, from the taco restaurant.
Oh my!
Oh,
you're coming to look into Rosa. Is something wrong?
No. Well, we were just having lunch, and we heard that from the cook that he hasn't seen her in a few days, and since we quite familiar with the establishment, and we've showed up to it a few times. We just want to check on her and see if she's okay. He said that Rosa might have come by here at some point.
Yes, Rosa came to me very concerned. She told me that she saw a monster prowling the streets of Wildknock.
I mean, unfortunately, in the world we live in, there are quite a few monsters.
She was convinced that the monster was what was causing people to leave Wildknock. Either that they were afraid of it, or that it was capturing them, killing them. She wasn't sure, but she was convinced she saw it ritually kill a man. I don't know what to think, but I know that some evil has taken root here in Wildknock.
So she thought like an actual, bump in the night kind of monster, not just...
I don't know, Father. It could have been a man in a mask. Some crazed lunatic, or even a cultist, maybe. Lord knows we've seen something like that before, but...
Unfortunately, masked criminals and disturbed individuals in masks aren't just something in the movies. Did she give you any information, or what exactly did she say?
She seemed incoherent. She said that she saw in the alleyway a figure with large horns, like they were wearing like an animal mask of some kind, or an animal skull. Listen, something has definitely been stalking the streets, and I don't know if it's a monster or not. But it could be a serial murder or something. But I've been warning people to, move in groups and carry defensive measures with them. This community is, I hate to say it, it's slowly dying, as if being eaten alive. While some people have disappeared, others left to search for them, and others yet leave for fear of the gangs and thugs in the street. Wildknock is not doing well, Father. I'm glad you came to me, because I haven't seen her in a few days. I think she might be missing too. Is it true? I mean,
We just know what we were told, that he hadn't seen her in a couple days, so that's kind of why we're looking into it. Being part of the community, I've heard rumors of people who've kind of left or just kind of not given word as to where they're going. So that's kind of the main reason we wanted to see if we could find out anything about her and see if maybe we could track her down or at least get some more information.
You should speak to, I would say speak to Jackie Clark, but I know that she's also disappeared in the last couple days, and I don't believe it'd be because of she's scared. She does not back down from a fight, but her assistant should have more information if you want to look into that. She was my She was my closest ally in helping people stay in Wildknock and fight, do you know Caliburn Enterprises? They seem to own all of the city.
I'm quite familiar with Caliburn. You think they might have something to do with what's going on?
I'm sure they're bullying and bribing people in the city. I'm sure they're not helping whatever the issue is. I thought it was just that, but Rosa seemed to believe that there was more to it than that.
I think maybe they've sunk into Scooby-Doo villain levels and putting on masks to scare people away.
Oh, how I wish that were true. That'd make my life a lot easier. Father John, would you please roll convince someone to see if you can get her to tell you more information?
Absolutely. I'm going to go ahead and power this up with 4 tags.
Tell me which they are.
Actually, 5? Compassionate, have a heart-to-heart. A silver cross, the congregation. And I'm not sure, but maybe catch overlooked details from the crew thing?
I'd say no to the last one, simply because if you have more than 4 tags, you can't... You literally cannot fail if you use 5 tags, so I'd prefer if you did not.
Alright. So I'll just go with the 4 then. Okay, and you said convince?
Yes.
Alright, convince. 15.
Should have seen that one coming.
I mean, it would have been an 11 without anything.
She, well, are you with the group right now?
Yeah, I think we all, I think maybe I'm the only one
together,
that's...
right? He's being the talker right now.
Would you mind...
I think Lexi probably just faded into the background and then started snooping.
Okay.
Ami is probably digitally snooping as well.
Do you two want to tell me how you're what you're snooping for?
Having heard none of the conversation, and feeling how different this space feels, Lexi is looking for anything rifty, but specifically because she heard about a mask out in the kind of courtyard area. She's looking for a mask.
Interesting. Okay. Go ahead and roll for me. You can tell me what move you're doing if you want to. Probably investigate, unless you want to...
This is either an investigate or a sneak around.
Yeah.
I
think it's investigate because you're looking for clues.
Cool. In that case, I need to change these a little bit. Great. Whoop. So, eye for detail, no walls can bar me, nose for what's beloved. And that's 12.
Okay. I was going to say, beloved might not make total sense, but you're still 11.
I mean, if she's wearing a mask, that was my thing, but... It's like an object.
You do not find a mask. On the grounds, at least. What you do find is you slink into one of the back offices and find several, like a Bible open on one side and several other notebooks and other texts about contacting the dead. You find some candles that have been recently snuffed, and in the past couple days, and you find some scribbling notes about a Luis Navarro. I'm sorry, Father. If you wouldn't mind stepping away from your 2 friends here, there is something I do want to tell you, and I'm not sure.
I mean, yeah. You folks don't mind if I speak in private?
I'm not sure who's typing right now, but God Christ!
Sorry.
That's Lexi quietly looking through everything.
You can put it in the background. Not that much.
Ami's typing, right? Just laptop out.
Just full laptop out. Just
with mechanical keyboard built in.
Right? That's how that works, right? No, she brings a mechanical keyboard with her. She can't. She's too hipster to not have a mechanical keyboard at all times. She pulls you to the side and makes sure that no one is close enough to hear. Yesterday, Father, this is obviously shunned in the church, I'm sure, but I have a connection with those who have passed, and I tried my best to contact Rosa's ghost, in case she had passed on, and I could not find her. I don't know if that means she's still alive or she has passed on to another realm, but I did see an older gentleman. He looked kind of like a private eye sort of man, but he was hovering in an alleyway, and he was trying to reach out to me to say something, but I was too frightened and I couldn't go on.
Really?
I haven't told that to anyone. I try not to tell people about the gifts that I have, but I do hope that it helps you in your investigation of finding Rosa.
I mean, I've always thought that it's not what you have or where it came from, it's how you use it. So, I mean, any kind of talent, whatever this might be, would be a blessing. Who knows?
Thank you, Father.
But thank you for trusting me with that. You said like a detective. Are we talking like Humphrey Bogart looking, or are we talking NYPD Blues?
He was an older gentleman, probably in his 60s, fedora, and he looked very bloody. Kind of tight lips and chiseled nose, but I'd say he's probably a retired cop of something like that.
Is there any way I can try and like look through the veil with her to see if there might be some?
You can try to look beyond the mist if you like. I cannot promise you'll see anything, but I can certainly. Yeah.
That's just investigation plus destiny, which I just have as one, right?
Not destiny, sorry, with plus mythos.
Yeah, sorry, destiny is what my mythos is listed as.
I don't know what that is. That's not this.
8. Mild success.
Okay, what we're gonna get is something that's hazy or incomplete. You're going to look beyond the mist, and you can tell me how this looks. You don't see the detective that she was referring to. But you do see the kind of aura around Reverend Keisha. And you feel a sense of morality and society, kind of civility amongst this entire congregation. And in the walls of the church, you can tell that she has some kind of control over people's goodwill and that kind of stuff. But you can also tell that amongst the goodwill of the congregation, there is spirits. You can't see Luis's, but you can tell that Reverend Keisha is speaking the truth, that she can in fact reach out to the dead.
Does it seem like it might be something that's more location-based or person-based?
I'd say more location-based.
Okay. A quick question though about this. Your talent. Is it something that you do here, or is it something that just kind of happens? Or
I'm not so familiar with it. Obviously, it's not exactly the kind of thing the church would approve of, but I can visit locations and sense things. It's stronger if I can be where the last place that someone was.
Okay. Sorry, it's fascinating. It's I like those shows and stuff on Travel Channel. It's a guilty pleasure of mine. So
I hope I can trust you to keep my secret, Father.
of course. I jest, but I make light with friends. So just don't worry. We might come back, but secret's safe with me.
Thank you. And with that, we watch as Lexi rejoins the group. We did say that, Chrissy, you wanted to do some cyber sleuthing as well. I'll say that you don't find any information on Reverend Williams, other than the numbers in her church have been going down by the day almost. Was there anything specifically you were looking for?
I was more or less trying to get Rosa/Louise's last location.
Sure. Let's see. Hold on a second. Do you want to look into... so... If you're going to wait until they come back and let you know about what they found, Lexi, what do you tell the group?
She's got some stuff in her office, but I don't think she's our masked kidnapper.
Is this being said while I've walked away, or?
I'd say when you're all back together again.
Okay.
Lexi probably just, is by the door when you turn around.
Yeah,
Sliding
so what
out
was
of
it
the
you
shadows.
More like... Oh, wait, shit. Wasn't Lexi right here? I guess she's over there? Oh. But yeah. I say this as you all come up close, and I kind of hold the door open for y'all. There was some shit in her office, kind of seance-y stuff, but nothing incriminating.
Yeah, she apparently is in tune with the spirits and had a vision. She apparently trying to look for Rosa to see if maybe she could get a sense of if there was a spirit or if there's not a spirit yet. So let's hope that's good news. She didn't get a hold of anyone. She did say that she saw some kind of older detective person that was trying to indicate something, but the message wasn't coming through. I guess it must have been like a weak signal. Someone kind of like bloody looking. I don't know if it means anything.
Chrissy, if you want to, I'm going to use your investigation. So you said you were looking into the last known locations of this individual and of Rosa. If you could roll to investigate or to change the game. I think investigation makes more sense here. Feel free to let me know what tags you're using.
Yep. She's gonna use her network communications and her data mining skills. And we'll just go with those two. They sound like the most relevant. I want to tie in other ones, but I don't want to be too frivolous with them because they feel like a stretch.
I appreciate that. You're still going to roll like 2 6s somehow, but it's fine.
And then what am I rolling again?
Investigate.
Investigate. That's a negative. I only rolled a 6.
Oh, okay. You rolled a 6 plus... Wait, a 6 plus 2 or just a 4 plus 2?
I believe
4 plus
that's
2, 6 total.
4 plus
Okay.
2 with the
Cool,
6
cool.
total.
Thank you. Well then. You try your best to find information on this PI and can't find much information. Something seems to be jamming your signals again. And I'll even say this: you look for Rose's information, and even Rose's Tacos website is down.
As Ami is shoveling the last of nachos into her mouth, she will kind of flip her phone at everybody to show that she's getting nowhere and just kind of shrug. Did the Reverend happen to tell you where she could find Rosa? Or where she saw her? Because didn't she see her, or has Father John not said that to us yet? That she had a vision of Rosa and the guy?
I would have said that like she came in to talk about what she saw, but like I think beyond that she doesn't know where she is. So I think after rumors of possibly disappearing, I think is when she started doing the seance stuff. So, but we could check the apartment or wherever it is that she lives, and maybe there's some kind of clue. Maybe she went into hiding somewhere. Oh, she did say, what was the name? Jackie? Jim? What was
Jackie?
Did she say speak with a Jackie something?
I'm seeing if any of my players remember anything that I've said in the last hour and a half.
I walked away.
I normally take notes, and this is the one time I didn't.
My notes say Rosa's missing, derail the narrative immediately.
I'm gonna approach Ami and just say, Ami, could you do your special work there and look into specifically movements from Caliburn Enterprises with regards to Wildknock and its neighborhoods, especially with tenants being moved from the premises or anything that might explain people going missing?
Absolutely. And she will start doing so on her phone and then move to her computer once we get settled or into a vehicle.
Sure. I'll let you do that as soon as we get into our next scene. Where are we going? I will tell you the answer to that question, Ikaj, if you cannot remember it.
I don't. I'm sorry.
Well, to Father John, I'm just going to say, I realize that Rosa, it is important that we find this person. However, I believe it is more important we find what is making people go missing, as it has become apparent that Rosa is possibly not the only one.
I mean, I think in order to find a beast, you follow the tracks. And right now, I think this is the best set of tracks we can find. Unless there's something I'm missing, which there might be.
I am sure there's something we are all missing, but I will trust your lead then.
She mentioned that one of her closest allies had been Jackie Clark, a lawyer who disappeared about a week ago.
Yeah, she did mention that there was another. The Reverend said that she had a really close friend, Jackie Clark, that I guess also disappeared about a few days ago, a week ago.
Celine, you would know.
A lawyer.
Would I know the name?
You would know, because if I forgot to say it, then your character would know this. Clark Law is where your mother is trying to send you to stop
my
Jackie
grandmother's
Clark
trying to-
from taking over, or preventing her
Okay.
from her takeover.
Okay, I would give that information if I would know. Absolutely.
She was doing what with the?
There's a lawyer that they are having they're having difficulties from that I am to go visit. Clark is the name.
And I thought my family's shakedowns were rough and regular.
It's a different type of rough.
And on that
Yeah.
note, I think we can transition to a scene at Clark Law. At first glance, the humble office of Clark Law could have easily been just another law clinic and yet another residential building. However, the broken glass door at the end of the corridor tells a different story. Amidst cracking shards and scattered folders on the floor walks a hunched, pale, middle-aged man. His tie is loose on one side of his shirt is hanging outside of his trousers. He seems tired, stressed, and distraught as he paces back and forth through the wrecked room. Once in a while, the man stares at the wallpapered walls of the clinic, which are covered with pinned newspaper articles and handwritten notes.
And this is what we see going into the law firm.
Yes.
Well, Celine, doesn't look like your grandmother might have something to worry about at this point.
I will go up and is the door just open to like a lobby, or do I have to ring or something?
You could ring. I mean, I'll say that it's open to the public. So it's, say, like a first floor kind of thing where you can walk into the business and there are residents up above them. But the door is shattered open, so you're standing outside of a broken glass door.
Oh, it's shattered. Okay.
Someone smashed their way in.
Is there any sign of people inside if I were to peek in?
There's a dude walking around in there, isn't there?
Yes.
Hunched over, kind of disheveled looking.
It's Columbo.
No, that's
Hello?
Father John. We've established this early in the series.
I will just call in.
Oh, hello. Sorry. Can I help you?
Yes, I'm looking for. Was it Jackie Clark?
Jackie Clark, yeah.
Jackie Clark?
Oh, well, this is the right office. Come on in. I'm sorry about the mess. We were attacked recently. And he will wipe off his hand because it's covered in sweat from him nervously walking around the room. And I mean, I don't think we can take your case if you're looking for something, but I'm Alex Penn. I'm the assistant to Jackie Clark.
Nice to meet you, Alex Penn. Celine, Caliburn.
Caliburn?
Yes.
I'm not sure we should be talking to someone who is a defendant. So I'm sorry, I don't think I can help you.
I apologize. I was more just here to pick up the case files pertaining to me and my family.
Yes, I can get those to you in a few days. Obviously our printer is down because it was.
I am sure you could just email them.
Yes, of course. Sorry, silly me. Of course, email. Sure, we can do.
I will have my assistant here provide you an email address, and I will look at you, Ami, hoping that you'll go along with this.
Just casually hacking a lawyer's email. That's fine.
Fine.
Mommy will, with a little bit of guac, probably dried on her cheek, definitely step up with a laptop in hand.
Great. Let me go get that information for you, Ms. Caliburn. I'll just head to the back real quick. Please don't touch anything, or be careful about the glass, of course. And he will run off to the back and attempt to send you that information.
Okay. Meanwhile, I'm just going to look at the others with a kind of, should we look around kind of glance.
Say no more.
Yeah.
I guess I'll assist whoever wants to do the investigation.
Sure. If you have help points for anyone on the team, you can feel free to.
Yeah, who have you got help points for? That's the question.
I feel like I've got help points from everyone.
I think I've used up all my help points when I helped you with your son.
I've got the most from Lexi, so I could roll it.
Help points are actually, you spend them on the person that you have them for. So
well, then,
you could help
you
me the
investigate
most.
And I'll help you. Yeah, absolutely.
Okay, rock and roll. So what do you say? Proper catch overlook details. Eye for detail.
I've got bullshit detector. Can I use that as my help? Give you a help point.
It's
like some
neutral
bullshit
on your
there,
card.
Lexi.
It matters for my card, right? No walls can bar me. So if we have to go somewhere that's not in this room,
I'll count it. If you want to roll +3.
Yeah, +4, because I get 1 from being helped.
Yes.
Unless you want to drop more points on it.
I'm just going around pointing out the bullshit.
Until I figure out which of your weakness tags I can invoke. Or if Chrissy just wants to do that for me.
I mean, I don't think police attention or Graham's criminal friends.
I mean, police attention. It's very. It's definitely appropriate, except for the fact that I clearly distinguished that there's nobody in this town.
That's a 13.
God damn it! Even if it was, it'd be a 12. Well, go ahead, and if you have any questions, feel free to ask them.
Okay, gang. What have we got questions wise?
What's attacked here?
Um,
You said that they're attacked, so.
Can we tell what was taken?
Can you ask that in a not yes or no question?
Okay. What was the goal of this attack?
I'm going to say that you connect a few dots right here, and the first thing you find is a shred of a blood-stained tweed scarf that seems to be caught on a nail near the doorway. You can find that the window, in fact, was broken from the inside, not the outside. And there are strange scratches on the hardwood floor. They look almost like claw marks. So your question was, what was the goal? Your goal was to kidnap somebody.
I think Lexi immediately points out that claw marks are on the inside, glass is on the outside of the door.
And did we get confirmation whether or not Jackie is just stepped out for a moment, or like gone?
From Alex? No, you have not.
Yeah, okay.
He can tell us when the preacher said hadn't heard from Jackie in a couple days, is my recollection. And yeah, I mean, Jackie could be our creature, but something tells me that it's someone else. If this person was let in and there was a kidnapping, was there anybody? Is there any way to tell who, or who was Jackie meeting with when this happened?
Could see if there's like a calendar.
That's what I'm thinking. Either through like being like, Ami, do the Outlook thing, or like just a Rolodex or something, planner. Alternatively, footprints that don't match any of us, or like scraps of clothing that indicate like who was here.
Sure.
Some kind of Krampus.
I'm trying to figure out if I want to do that or not. Give me 1 second. Do you have a third question? Technically 4.
Yeah. What have y'all got, gang?
I mean, mostly, like, I was mostly hoping to get everything I possibly could off of, like, setting up the difference between Caliburn Enterprises and their actions and all this versus what seems now to be an actual real creature involved making people disappear. So that was kind of my angle, and I was hoping that when he emailed us all those files, we could just go through them and find that information out. But as far as like via the like break-in here, I don't know that I've got any additional questions for that.
Chrissy, Ekash?
Other than look at other clients of note for this law office?
I think the only thing that Chrissy the player would think, but I don't know if Celine has mentioned it, is this tenant that has been creating the issues. Because there was a tenant that was being represented by the lawyer, right? So wasn't that what we said in the beginning? Wasn't there like a guy who wouldn't leave and the lawyer was kind of hassling someone, or was that not relevant?
They're hassling the lawyer. The lawyer's defending the Caliburns, I believe.
Other way around.
Other way around.
Clark Law is attacking the Caliburn Enterprises for trying to kick out residents.
And then there was the one resident that was like particularly troublesome, if I remember correctly. Right?
No.
Or does it not matter?
That was Alex Penn. That was the law offices of Clark Law. He is still attempting to do what Jackie was doing, and is continuing being a menace. Is what Morgana was saying.
Oh.
In the meantime,
Morgana.
Yeah, that's my grandmother's name. Yeah. No,
Easy.
that's why you guys were talking about that in chat. That's my grandmother's name.
I forgot that was her first name.
Yep.
Well, that answers one question.
Ami, if you want
together.
to investigate using your techno wizardry, I can say that you've received the email, and we can work through all the information about the law office.
Yep.
And you can hold on to your questions, Vermin, until you have more you want to learn.
I'll hold on to them until it seems appropriate to throw them out. So, are you refunding me my question that I get nothing from? Do I have 3 left? Or 2?
2 left. I'm still debating on if I'm going to give you that second one.
You can give me a vague answer too, just like something to point me in the right direction.
Yeah, no, sorry, I cannot answer that one yet. So I'll refund it if I decide not to give it to you. You did roll a 12, so I probably should. But it's narrative decision making. You know what? Fuck it. You find marks of automobile grease in amongst the stuff here.
Probably in the claw marks.
No.
Not in the claw marks.
You find it on some papers. You find it around the office. All the things that were smashed have kind of grease on them or dirt. You even find a little bit of soil kind of dug up in a corner somewhere. So someone has made a mess in here, but they are not related to the claw marks.
Now that's interesting.
Ami is vigorously reading case files.
Actually, if you want to investigate the claw marks, I can give you more information on those.
That was actually what I was going to lean into next. What story do these claw marks tell?
You find amongst the claw marks, they are very large. As if someone had scratched through the carpet and along the walls of this office space. There is blood here. And I'll even, because you rolled so well, I will even give you, there are wood chips kind of scattered by the front door.
So there's claw marks in the floor and there's wood chips scattered by the front door, like somebody was trying to
like someone,
not
like,
be pulled
tracked
away.
them in.
Tracked them in?
The chips.
Wood chips. You've really thrown a wrench in my thinking on this one.
Are there any scales dislodged?
There are not.
Okay. Alright. Wood chips. Do we know any forestry type of, or construction, any sort of places nearby that would service, would have a wood chipper? Or perhaps a large playground?
Ami, you have just received the emails for your boss, Celine. If you would like to investigate for me, you can look into the files that they've sent over. You can also, if you want to, try to hack into Clark Law, but that would require a sneaking around roll.
I will start with just investigating, and then if I am unsatisfied, can I start to sneak around? All right. A 10 with a great success.
Great success.
Same tags. The same tags I used last time.
AKA your computer tags, the ones that you're supposed to use. No, I appreciate this. Okay. You have, I believe, at least two clues if you want to look into something specifically. Or I can give you general information.
I would like to powwow with Celine on this because she is my boss. I will turn my computer to her, my laptop, and do like the Control F for find and search maybe her grandmother's name, names of whoever, all sorts of different stuff. And I will ask you if you were looking for specifics, or do you just want me to give you the gist?
I mean, I kind of want the gist. Put it like you did. Mostly just a summary of what is going on. However, you're familiar with digging through files. What seems to be... Is there any particular dirty laundry that sticks out to you with your expertise in this?
All right. If I go with specific questions, Luca, do you want me asking specific questions about Grandma?
Yeah.
Okay.
Also, possibly, we could also cross-reference foreclosures with the disappearances.
All right.
How involved is Grandma?
Yeah, so I will specifically start searching for Grandma Caliburn within the documents to see if she is named or if she is cited anywhere as kind of the person doing things rather than the enterprise itself. Also looking for connections to, like, Luca just said, foreclosures and stuff like that.
Gotcha. Okay, I'll start off with... I'll say that you don't find anything specifically mentioning Morgana Caliburn, other than the fact that she is the one who is in charge of Caliburn Enterprises. Obviously, she has a legal team, a very expensive one, but Caliburn Enterprises is buying up Wildknock, and given their predatory reputation, Jackie was fighting to stop them. The company has been acquiring buildings in the neighborhood, sometimes through small straw companies, any kind of various subsidiaries of Caliburn Enterprises. And so residents are starting to move out of Wildknock en masse, selling their property to Caliburn Enterprises as they're the only people who will buy them. And there are very many subsidiaries. The legal fight has become harder and harder as residents are eager to sell in time and care little for the fate of the neighborhood. You will find so because you are specifically looking for like the kind of correlations between disappearances and whatnot, I'll give you this. It seems that there was a wave of residents who all disappeared all at once. And Caliburn Industries was able to come in and buy those properties up right away, as if they knew they were about to be sold. And then after that, people started to slowly disappear quicker and quicker as we've gone on. And it seems like those first few properties that were bought up have just been left derelict. And you find some notes of Jackie's that they believe that Caliburn Enterprises is purposely devaluing Wildknock. There's a couple mentions in the suits that Caliburn Enterprises has left some of the buildings to become inhabitable. Inhabitable? That one. And Jack saw this tactic as the main reason people were abruptly leaving, but could not explain the wave of sudden disappearances a few months ago.
Ami will share that with the group openly.
Unless there's anything you want to do in the meantime, Lexi, I think this is a good time for Alex Penn to come back into the room. And he can answer any lingering questions. I hope that was everything. Ms. Caliburn, I'm sure your assistant can help you by looking through those files for you, or your legal team.
I do have one more investigation question now that he's back.
Okay.
Does Alex know something about the attack that he's not telling us? Or what does Alex know about the attack that he's not telling us? I can get more specific with that if you want.
No, give me 1 second, okay?
Rest.
Technically, he hasn't told you about the attack at all. So I would say that might be something he is holding back from you. But he knows almost as much as Jackie would have known, so he can tell you anything about the investigation that you want to know about.
Okay. I guess that counts as my last question. He knows all about the attack, so... Anybody
Didn't you have 2 questions?
I asked about the claw marks, is what I thought
right. Yep.
one of them was.
Yep, you're right.
I'm mostly focused on those wood chips and trying to figure out what the hell that means.
Given the old what happened here. So, what happened with the attack here?
Oh, some thugs came in and roughed up the place. He's going to pull from one of the desks nearby a charred piece of paper with subpoena written at the top of it. And it looks like it is a subpoena for information from Caliburn Enterprises. It's been burned and was left here kind of as a warning. And someone came in and smashed up the place, and obviously I was scared for both of our lives, but that was a few days before Jackie went missing.
You say that was a couple days before Jackie went missing. Were these, and she's going to point directly to the claw marks, were these here? Did they scrape up the room with something?
I don't know where those came from. Those appeared around the same time that Jackie went missing. I think she was kidnapped from the office. If anything, the attack made her more invested in trying to get back at Caliburn Enterprises. Not that I should probably be saying that in front of you, Ms. Caliburn. Yeah.
And she'll kind of gesture at a piece of paper. I couldn't help but notice that there's a lot of grease around here. Were the people who came in and roughed things up, were they mechanics or something?
Sorry, I couldn't tell you. I mean, I wasn't here. It happened in the middle of the night. But
Of course.
a biker gang or something, maybe.
A
So are
biker
there
gang?
any... Sorry, go ahead.
I don't know. I try to stay out of it. I wouldn't know myself.
Thanks.
But they're around, you know. Everywhere
Please
has
go
them.
ahead, Ami. That's... Sorry, that...
Okay. I was gonna ask if there are any computers in this room that don't belong to Ami.
I would say that most of the computers in this room are smashed up. You know that he has at least one working computer in his office where he sent you those emails.
But there are computers in this room.
Correct.
Okay, do those computers, she would... Okay. She's just going to look at Lexi, and her intent is to get her hands on the hard drives of those computers, because everybody knows that you cover up your little camera on your computer because everyone is watching you, including the CIA. So she's going to go first. The possibility of security footage, only not really security footage, but like
a webcam.
Like a webcam. Yeah.
A webcam feed.
Correct. But she needs the hard drive if the computers are not working. So she's going to turn to Lexi and say, can you do the thing where you like kind of disappear and take the things? Maybe?
Yeah, I can do that. And Lexi will kind of nod and say, "Come on, gang, let's get out of here."
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's hopefully what this looks like, assuming I roll reasonably well, is everybody walks out the door. We see Alex turn and then like walk away, and then Lexi is like shimmery gone, but back in the room. So
you know what I'm going to be asking for in a moment.
I sure do. Just trying to figure out what makes sense here. Okay. Yeah. I'm adding invisibility, no walls can bar me, and organized crime. That sound good to you?
Sounds good to me.
Sneaking around. That's an 11.
It's a wonder I even ask you to roll these days.
Bruh, all you gotta do is hit my weakness buttons. That's what they're there for.
Yeah, but I mean, it would still be a 10. I am going to ask you to add crack to They Grow Up So Fast.
Ooh.
Because I won't let Graham make the same mistakes I did. It feels like you are making more of those same mistakes.
Okay. But I do the thing. Everyone who should fall for it does.
And with that, Alex continues cleaning up the office and does not notice you. What do you do?
Yeah, so I think what Lexi does is looks at these kind of smashed computers and I don't know how much she'll let me just like defy physics while I'm sneaky deaky, but either she just reaches in and like unclips things through the side of the case, or she unscrews any of the screws that hold on the panel, because most of those have like they're finger tight. You can just open them up, and then pops a hard drive off of something that has a webcam, because I figure Ami would point at the one that she wanted.
I'll just say that you somehow maneuvered your way through. You can tell me exactly how you do it, but if you want to stick your hands through solid material, it's magic. It can do shit like that. Then, I mean, you literally have a tag that says walls like cannot hold you, so that I think that counts for computer casings. You grab a hard drive from one of the nearby computers and sneak back out into the street.
It's a tense moment in the fiction, but obviously I rolled an 11, so nothing goes wrong. We're just hovering over that moment where he like comes back into the room and my hand's halfway into the PC.
You're like, don't notice me, don't notice me, don't notice me, don't notice me. Yeah. Very good, very good.
Yeah, she'll walk outside and hand that to Ami.
Yeah. And then Ami will attempt to see if she can find any webcam footage.
Do your thing, Wiz.
Do you want to investigate again?
Yeah, might as well.
Okay. You can let me know what you're looking for then, and you can let me know if you roll well.
I would just be probably looking for.
You're specifically looking for camera footage?
Camera footage of the night of the attack. Or the abduction.
You'll have to roll really well because obviously that kind of stuff isn't recorded. But and since you're not actively turning on the camera.
I don't know why you had to jinx me. I had a mild success.
Okay, well, would you...
7.
A 7? Okay. So I will say that you... Basically what happens is you either get half true, half false, or you find you have like missing information. What I'll say is that you confirm what probably all of you were thinking, is that you find some video footage, some found footage of the night of the attack, and some men and women stroll into the law office, but you can't see their faces. They're obscured in some way. You can't really tell how because the footage is not clear enough. But some folks come in with dark outfits and start smashing up the place. And at the very end, you see as a big, like, honking, like, pipe smashes into the computer and stops the video footage. But you definitely saw some biker gang-like folks come in and smash up the place. They did not, however, do anything that would have left those giant claw marks. I am going to give you one other little bit of information. You find as you go through the computer information on that computer, some messages from a PI named Luis Navarro. And to tell that Jackie had reached out to Luis for information.
I will show everyone the video and share the email exchange as well. And she will say, I feel like that name sounds familiar.
Luis Navarro, right? Does that sound familiar, GM?
I mean, it should to one of you.
Oh. To me? No. Okay.
Though the name shouldn't sound familiar to anyone.
Oh.
The PI? Are you implying that Luis Navarro is the fella that Ekaj found out about from the priest?
Yes.
Buddy,
I'm gonna assume that.
You have several PIs floating around in this world because it could very easily be the PI that I tracked down.
I'm taking it from the book. They have multiple PIs. It's a noir story. Everyone's a PI.
There's a PI under every rock, behind every trash can. There's just a guy in a trench coat.
Next season, I'm putting a different PI in every episode.
Now, the what's funny about that, you see, is that
the last episode, but you fighting off against all the PIs.
Hundreds of Columbos.
They're legion.
One more thing.
So I googled the name and looked to see if there's any information on this PI, possibly a picture.
Yeah, sure, why not? You find a very old news article about a police officer that was forced off of the city police department for not mishandling cases, but for his strange investigative technique. He was a detective at the time, and since then has been a private eye for hire in the city.
You wrecked 30 cars, and the mayor was on the chief's ass. Any pictures of this disgraced police officer?
Sure.
That was removed from the force?
He at the time looked to be about in his 40s. He has a kind of he has seen some shit. He has a kind of tight lips and a chiseled nose, and is known for his distinctive fedora.
Can I check to see if there's maybe an obituary for this name as well?
Yes, there is. His funeral was today.
Oh.
I show everyone. Like, well, I think we might have.
Seeing Reverend connect the dots on stream is the best.
I think we may have found out who this visitor that the good Reverend encountered was. I guess they had a funeral this morning. So, work quick.
So I have one more question about the footage. And Ami, it's your set of questions. You technically have 3 questions that you can ask. So 1 down, I guess. But as Lexi's looking at the footage, my curiosity is, I feel like it's this biker gang is one of 2 possibilities. Either it's our good friends, the Knights of the Round Table, or it's potentially Lexi's father's gang. And I'm wondering if there's anything that like could tip that one way or the other.
So are you asking for like insignia?
Yeah, I guess the question is there anything that could identify the gang? What identifying factors on the gang members can we see? Is probably the shape of that question.
Because she's already rolled for this, and I've already stated that the video is too fuzzy to tell what they're wearing and covering their faces, I will say that you cannot tell. You'd have to find another clue or investigate in some other way to find that information out. And on that note, I'm going to take a quick break to give my players 5 to 7 minutes to go to the bathroom and get some snacks. And we will be back shortly, so come back soon. Hello and welcome back to Madness Calls It Forth, the City of Mist campaign based on the Knights of Paynetown. Last we left our adventurers, they were investigating the scene of Jackie Clark's disappearance at Clark Law, and we're planning to potentially split up the party to look into more information. Where do you want to go first?
Lexi's going to look over at Ami and say, how do you feel about some good old-fashioned sleuthing?
You will see her look really confused and put her phone in her back pocket and go kind of just like shrug. Do you have like a seeing eyeglass or whatever those things are, you know? A magnifying glass?
And she's gonna kind of like pop her neck, and you kind of see the ghostly image of that of her rift behind her.
Now that you're in tune with your rift, what does it look like?
Oh shit!
Or has it changed at all?
Yeah, it probably has. It's like clearly a woman And it's complicated because like she.
You can talk meta a bit if you need to.
Yeah. So I don't know that Lexi read my favorite translations of Beowulf, where Grendel's mother is more a human than a monster. But like it's still kind of a generic looking, definitely like female figure, but there's ripples across it, like across the surface of water, where she sometimes has claws and fins and gills, and sometimes looks more just like a warrior woman. She's got a nose for finding what she's looking for.
Yeah, so Ami will see this happen. And probably in kind of like an uncharacteristically challenging kind of way, not like not challenging as in like, oh, I'm gonna fight you challenging, but challenging in a way as if like, oh, look, you caught up to speed kind of thing. And you will kind of see a little bit of glint. The blood will run a little bit heavier from the tip of the spear. And Ami will go, well, I guess sleuthing it is, and walk towards the alleyway with Lexi.
Okay, you're heading towards Gray Alley, the way that the man at Rose's Tacos directed you towards. John and Celine, which way are you heading? You staying together or splitting ways?
I guess it's you and me.
Right, let's stick together. Perhaps we'd best go to the source. Perhaps a visit to Caliburn Enterprises itself.
Have you been there before? I mean, you've got the same name and everything, but I don't know if you've actually been there or...
I do have an office there, though.
Hey.
I will be honest, I usually send a proxy for most board meetings.
All right, well, as long as you can get us in, then yeah, so be it. Sounds like a good idea.
Okay.
GM? Huh?
Yeah? Do you have a question, or are you just checking in to make
No,
sure I'm
is
there?
that-
This
No,
is me
more
being
just
like, okay, what do I
can
do
we
next?
go there?
I'm debating which one I want to show you first. Okay, someone roll me a d6. Odds is Luca, and evens is Chrissy.
As everyone rolls a d6.
To be fair, both you and I did roll odds.
So odds is Celine, so let's do that. You are heading towards Caliburn Enterprises. Because this is based on your character, Celine, please let us know, what is the main office building of your grandmother's company look like? Does she run it out of her estate, or is it...
Wayne Enterprises. So Caliburn Enterprises is a very tall, imposing building with the logo right there on the very top, lit up at all times, so it can be seen from just about anywhere in the city, even on dark, misty nights.
What exactly does your logo look like?
It is the word Caliburn and underneath Enterprises with a bit of wavy lines behind a sword sticking up in front of it.
How appropriate. Great. And how exactly do you want to approach Caliburn Enterprises?
I will walk right in.
Are you looking
I
for your
assume there is
grandmother, or are you looking?
security.
Mm-hmm.
I will
But I'll
head
say
right
that-
up to the suites level.
Are you looking for your grandmother's office, or are you trying to avoid her?
You got a whole floor just for sweets? Damn.
I mean, yeah.
One of their enterprises is Candy Hearts, don't you know? But
Gingerbread men.
No. No, I will head up to the executive suites offices level and find my office, which is kept, but like I'm almost never here. I will come in occasionally, but very often I send a proxy instead for any sort of board meetings. But I will head right up to my office to just try and get on the intranet and see what I can find out.
you really just used the word intranet?
Uh-huh. I assume Caliburn Enterprises has its own local. Yeah.
I just love
Yeah,
that you
the
used
land,
the word.
bro.
I love that you have used a word that no one has used in 20 years. Even though I know what it means, I'm still upset by it.
I work on an intranet every day.
Listen, I used to manage that shit. Okay.
Yeah, but you call
People-
it, I'm gonna go on the intranet.
Yes.
When you need to distinguish it from the internet.
Yes.
As
Yeah,
you
but I'm not,
often
but
do.
also, I don't refer to myself as, I'm gonna quickly go on the internet.
Well,
Anyway.
You're talking about. Alright. When you're talking about an enterprise location, you know.
Yeah, no. I mean, I do too. Except I'm upset that we've used the term. It's a great term, though. Anyway.
I imagine Caliburn Enterprises to be a lot like a place like Packard, just like the oldest, grindingest gears of industry refusing to change anything. And damn if their engineers are not like working on 40-year-old technology that they refuse to replace with something newer. So
Listen, we're still running on
Intranet
Aviva,
all the way.
okay?
Oh
Don't judge us.
Oh no. Then I will say you walk into your office and attempt to welcome Hard Knock Dice to Madness Calls It Forth. You enter your office and attempt to turn on the computer, and it very slowly turns on because it has not been used in quite some time.
Mm-hmm.
Tell me, what do you plan to do here, Celine? I can give you information about Caliburn Enterprises. I almost said Colleen. Caliburn Enterprises and what they're working on if you want to. If you are trying to do it without getting noticed, I'm going to ask one of you to roll sneak around. So either one of you is watching the door or you are trying to be sneaky on a computer that you barely use. And then if you want to investigate information, you either talk to people or you can find it on the intranet.
Listen, I'm going to tell Father John if he could just go out to the
Waiting area?
no, it's the floor where most of the secretary desks are. The bullpen.
The secretarial pool? The
Thank you.
steno
the
pool?
pool.
Yeah. And I was trying to remember what they called it in Mad Men, but if
Is
you
it the
go out
steno
there and
pool,
just
or is
take,
it not?
I don't remember.
It's fine.
Steno
If
pool's
you
pretty good.
Go out
Steno pool is
there
pretty great. It's
and
very 80s.
just kind of look around on desks, maybe chat up, try and find something. I'm gonna log on to whatever Caliburn Enterprises proprietary answer to SharePoint is and see what's going on.
Okay. You are going to roll me investigate, and Father John, if you are trying to keep people distracted from seeing what she's looking into, you're going to roll me sneak around.
Sure. I guess nothing left to lose and devil may care. Would that be like, am I trying to distract or am I trying to?
You tell me. Are you looking for information as well? And leaving her kind of out in the open?
How about I do like a like keeping watch while trying to stay inconspicuous.
Great. That's why I want you to roll sneak around. That's kind of the
Okay.
Be deceptive, be sneaky.
So maybe nothing left to lose, devil may care, and righteous man, because who would suspect anything from a priest?
I won't take nothing left to lose, but I can take the other ones. Go ahead.
Okay. That's a 10.
Excellent. So you were doing quite the good job of playing lookout. If anything happens to you, I'll let you know. But Celine, go ahead and roll to investigate.
I got a mild success, a 9.
Okay, you're going to get some either missing information or half true, half false information. Okay, I'm going to...
Actually, could I bump that up with a help point?
Oh, but what did you roll, Luca? It'll give you +1 to
A
that
9.
roll. Yeah, you can roll
That'd
it.
So
You-
it'd give me a
it'll
great
give you a
success.
10. You have to tell me how you're doing it, though.
I'm literally getting on the Caliburn
No,
Enterprises.
sorry, not you.
Oh,
How is he helping
Oh.
you to
Oh.
give you the +1? Narratively,
Uh,
how are you doing it?
So before I get out, I'll be like, "Hey, let me get over. I don't know how often you're on your computers, but you know, I may have learned a few things from Mommy. Nothing crazy. I can't, bust into Fort Knox, but I can tell you where the search engines are going to be, what you're going to need. I make sure that you're actually on the network. And there's some search commands that she taught me about how to find some images and stuff on my computer when I couldn't find it. So I'll open up command, and if you type in some stuff here, that should kind of help you with looking for what you're looking for."
They're learning, Ami. You're making a
boomers
difference
are learning.
with the elderly.
Listen, just to bring this back to reality for 2 seconds, today I had to ask my intern how to put the screen lock on my phone. So the fact that my character is the one who is teaching all of you is wild.
There are
Yes.
some great things you've said as like the tech wizard that I'm like. You
That's
literally
valid.
said earlier in this episode you did Control F.
Yeah.
Oh wait,
Yeah,
and
we're hacking root.
this might help out too. And I put incognito mode on her browser.
Very good.
Does that
Her Control F is actually a command line prompt.
It opens the command box on the side.
it
and I have no idea what
doesn't,
I'm
but
doing.
okay.
She's no. She's reconfigured it. Command F. It's so much faster to just have it fire off a super user do, and then like type in.
I
whatever
really can't
command
say
she
anything
wants.
because between Vermin and Luca, you're all our tech wizards anyway. So,
Oh.
anywho,
One more thing before I forget. I
Oh,
run
no.
out to a secretary
Oh, no.
desk and I run back with a sticky note and I put it over the webcam. I don't know exactly what this does, but Ame was mentioning something about webcams, just in case.
based on what we've made fiction before, this is not an installed webcam, but an old clunky one that is attached to the top of the monitor, and it has a giant round like ball attached to the camera because that's what they all looks like.
It actually has a cover on it, but John doesn't know what that is, so he just puts a sticky note over it.
You have rolled a 10 on your investigate roll. You have, I believe, how many power tags did you use?
Two.
Okay, you have 2 questions, 2 clues you can ask about information you want to learn from the intranet, or I can give you a general overview.
Could you give me a general overview instead?
Okay.
Give me the good stuff.
Caliburn Enterprises is definitely trying to take over Wildknock, as you know. They are using a process of generally just scaring residents and bullying them in any financial way they can. They are buying up properties left, right, and center. and they are attempting to buy everything in Wildknock in order to sell it off to developers as the next up-and-coming neighborhood. What I will say is that it seems that this plan has been in the works since before they started to buy up properties, to the point where they seem to have known that Wildknock would be the next part of the city that would be devalued and go under. So they knew something about Wildknock that led them to target that area. And general overview, you find information about that they have no plans to develop any of the buildings that they have bought. They have, as others have told you, let them go to ruin entirely, which is devaluing the entire community, and which is part of the reason some people are leaving. Funnily enough, there is plans to demolish a playground called Ferryring Play Park and turn it into a shopping mall, which seems very strange since you already know that the whole community is going to be very not profitable. So the
right about the playground with the wood chips.
The aspect of the mall seems to be a cover-up of some kind. I'll leave it say, because you got a 10, so technically I'm not going to give you false information. The area around the playground is very unstable, and there seems to be a large cave beneath it that makes the area difficult to build on, which is why it was a playground. Is there anything else you specifically want to know?
No, I feel like with that, I am going to pull out my BlackBerry and I am going to text the group this information.
Great.
So that they can get it right away. And then I will find John, if he's not out at the pool, like he'll, or if he's with me, tell him the information, and then we can try and see our way out of here.
Okay.
John is just in the middle of a sea of cubicles, and when he sees something, he's like, "I'm pretty sure someone microwaved fish this afternoon. It's still lingering. You can still smell it."
That's always here. There was an incident a few years back that we don't speak of it. Shall we go?
We switch scenes as you are heading out of the cubicle area to the alleyway. I like to imagine it's one of those cool shots where, like, you see the alley that is the cubicle aisle and then shifts to the alleyway that is Gray Alley.
That's directing.
Because I just fucking love that shit. It's a great thing. I love it. Like, there was this one movie where, like, they were upstairs and the camera, like, zoomed in around the foyer area, and I was like, this is... boom, love it. Anyway, you are in Gray Alley. At first sight, Gray Alley seems like any other alley in this abandoned neighborhood. The same trash dumpster, those same scattered boxes, and the same flickering streetlight. Still, something doesn't feel right. Every footstep echoes on the alley's cobblestones. Every whisper spreads through its stone walls. There's a weird, eerie feeling, as if this alley has seen something terrible, and it remembers. Lexi and Ami, what are you doing?
So, I think as the scene comes up, Lexi is kind of like doing the like beat cop investigation thing of like, yeah, looking at some footprints on the ground, crouching down. Are
you doing this weird like PI squat? Like looking
at
things?
It's 100% like she's got her suit coat on, she's doing the PI squat, she's maybe even like rubbing her finger in the dirt and kind of rubbing her fingers together and being like,
I think that Vermin has understood the assignment.
Look, gang.
To be fair, I do think it's actually more of a police squat, so it's like NCIS that does the squat. I'm not sure about PIs.
Yeah.
That's what I'm thinking of.
It's taken straight from the CSI Miami playbook. I'll prepare a pun in a minute.
It's still a great look. What are you looking into?
Wait, where's Ami?
Is there a car nearby? Because she's going to Dukes of Hazzard slide across the hood.
We could say there's a car blocking your way into the alleyway.
Yeah, I mean, she's going to also do the quintessential crime stoppers, crime solver thing and slide across the hood and then fall immediately on the other side.
It's very dramatic until you fall, and there's no one to greet you on the other side. It's not like you had any reason to get there quickly. It's just a very dark, misty... there is a faint rancid scent in this alleyway. And something is not quite right about it.
So, we kind of discussed off-screen. Mm-hmm. To me, the thing to do here is to, like, look beyond the mist. You're going to be super dope at that. And I have 1 help point on you right now. So, what I was imagining when I threw this out there is like...
Actually, Vermin, you'll be better at it.
I thought it was per mythos.
I could be wrong, but you can look me up on that. Nope, you are totally right. It is per mythos. I was thinking of
And she's the mythosiest one here.
What is the one that you get?
It's the superpower one. The hypercharge mega blast.
That sounds like Otherscape Tokyo, but close enough.
Yeah. That one is...
it's not Change the Game. It is some other stupid title. So it is plus mythos. You are totally correct. So if you want to look beyond the mist, you can. If you want to do proper PI investigation of the physical assets in this alleyway, feel free to let me know.
What I'm suggesting is, Ami, you look beyond the mists, I'll spend my help point, and I'm kind of dinking around doing, like, the low-key version of what I imagine you could probably do with your, like... time powers.
Okay, I want to do the dinking around first, and then the mythos one. So both.
Oh no! That's how I'm helping.
Oh, gotcha. Okay.
I'm choking on air. Oh.
Dangerous.
Chrissy did not like the use of the phrase "dinking around."
Breathing's hard.
Please roll plus mythos. So I think you're at 3 right now.
+1 for my help point.
Correct.
But I'm rolling. Look beyond the mist.
Yeah, it's just me investigate. There's no button for that.
Oh, okay. 10. Great success.
And that one did help then. So you tell me what this looks like as you peer beyond the mist and see things as they really are. And you get to ask me up to how many power tags did you use?
It's no power tags, but it would have been 4.
It would have been 3.
It would have been 3 cards and then the 1 help.
So yeah, you get 3 clues to ask me questions about what's beyond the mist.
4.
I don't think the help counts as one, but I could.
It does. It's per power, and your power is the total number of positive tags that you have. It's like whatever you add to the dice is how many questions you get.
Okay.
Okay, so questions.
As I've said to other people,
like?
if you want, you can ask specific questions, or I can give you kind of a general rundown. Obviously, the former is like more unique and interesting. If you have specific ideas, if you have no fucking clue, then I'll go ahead and narrate it for you. But if you want to tell me what it looks like when you tap into your which of your powers are you really tapping into here? Let's start with that. Let's start there.
Okay.
Forcing my players to make narrative decisions. How exciting.
All right. I'm struggling here because Ami is in a weird place. So she would definitely be at least conversing with Lexi about like what she would be looking for. So she wouldn't be making the decisions fully on her own.
Okay. So then I think what Lexi is doing is kind of saying like, look over here, and proper, just correct me if I'm wrong. It looks like this is where somebody got dragged. And then maybe like, what if it's like your future sight in reverse?
So I guess in my...
So actually you have specifically flashes of what was here before as one of your power tags.
Yes. So that was what I was going to say, is that she would be able to like discern that, but she wouldn't necessarily be knowing what she's looking for outside of like this creature.
Mm-hmm.
Or if we're looking, you know what I mean? Like she would just know how to do the thing, but wouldn't necessarily, so far, her mythos hasn't given her the ability to discern like necessarily what is happening, or if what is valid or what is true, because some of what she's seen has not happened versus some of it has. Do you know what I mean? So she would be trying to get Lexi to, she would kind of be narrating Lexi like, head over here towards this section, there was a scuffle over here, keep an eye, you know what I mean? Like she would definitely be narrating it out to Lexi to have Lexi do the things, if that makes sense.
We can say, if you want, that you can include her because she's helping you. You can include her in your visions if you want. Do you want to say that?
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, gosh.
Lexi, you can tell me how you respond to this. I'm going to narrate a little bit. Basically, what's going to happen is the outside world is going to kind of evaporate a bit here. You're not going to see the street or the car you jumped over. The light's going to flicker and then go out. And the alleyway is going to kind of come into focus for you two. In fact, let's see if I can find some good music for this. This scene kind of shifts focus, and it's like as if you were to open up the alleyway and see it in like a 3D model. And you, Lexi, realize that you are experiencing this with Ami for the first time. Perhaps she is holding your shoulder as she's directing you, but you start to realize you can see the same things that Ami is seeing. Like she's projecting what she is experiencing here. You hear several sounds all clatter together in your brain at once. There is a couple of gunshots. There is someone screaming. There is this guttural snarl that fills the entire space, and this absolute putrid smell of decaying flesh. You see a huge, menacing, feral creature with huge antlers that stretch up above its towering figure. And it's this, when you hear the gunshots again, 2 shots in a row, one of them hits this creature, and you smell some burnt fur, and you see for the first time a figure that you know instantly to be P.I. Navarro, because he's been described to you a couple of times before. You can tell it's him just by his distinctive fedora. You also see that the creature has in its arms Rosa, someone you know you're familiar with. There is a swirling flurry of mythos energies here, as if all of these people were some way touched. and you get at one point this kind of weird sensation of being fully nourished and full, and yet at the same second a sense of deep hunger, as if you haven't eaten for days or weeks. There is kind of a mystical presence here as Navarro enters the scene, and the snarl turns into a screech as it gets shot by the weapon. I would like both of you to roll to... it's to resist a malign influence, and I forget what that is called in this game. I believe it is face danger. If you could both face danger against a kind of malign influence in this alleyway.
Not physical, but mental?
Yes.
Hope this goes well, because I don't think I have any tags that work for this.
Always watching our backs. I was gonna say you could use that one.
I guess if I did, then that would be a 10. But I think it's more interesting as a 9.
Okay.
We'll go.
Also is a 9.
Yeah, we're both malignly influenced.
Thank you.
Sounds appropriate for Ami right now, so valid.
Someone want to read me? I'll look it up actually. Hold on. Face danger. On a 9, you take the status with -1 tier. You are going to both take. What would be a step below starving? Like above hungry, but not quite starving.
Famished?
Let's do that. You're going to take the level 2 status, famished. You seem to have a psychosis that breaks into you as if you are unbelievably hungry and you would do anything to eat. Imagine stuck in the woods, you've ran out of food. That kind of hungry.
In this sort of vision, do we see where the creature goes to? Can we, like, follow it back to wherever it makes off to?
I'd say that leaving this alleyway, you will step back into the mist, so you won't be able to follow it in this vision. But you can definitely look around the scene before you and find out the clues that were left here that the vision kind of highlighted for you. I'll just give you those because it makes sense. You find a custom-made silver bullet that's embedded in the wall, and some of the casings are scattered around here. There is a wallet of P.I. Navarro that he has dropped, and seems to have lost it in a fight. It's flung to a corner, like behind a trash can. There's also a big pool of dried up blood. It doesn't seem enough to have killed someone, but someone was definitely injured here. And there is several huge claw marks that are gouged into the stone walls around you. With that, I want... Give me 1 second.
So that's us, like, kind of returning to real world.
Mm-hmm.
Holy shit, Ami. How? All I needed to do was ask, huh?
Yeah, we've all got stories, you know?
That's something else. Where do these gouge marks lead off to? Whatever got shot here. And she'll kind of take out a knife and pry that silver bullet out of the wall. Whatever got shot here probably went somewhere to lick its wounds, right?
With that comment, we see Celine and Father John as they are attempting to leave Caliburn Enterprises. Celine, please roll Face Danger for me. I'll be open about this. You are trying not to run into your mother.
Well, that would be terrifying. I'm sure you mean my grandmother.
Also that, yes. I mean your grandmother.
Okay. I feel like I don't really have any. I'm just. Alright, face danger. Shit.
What did you roll, Luca?
I rolled a 6.
Do you have any health points on Luca left?
I just used my last one. So, thought we were relatively safe in the office building.
Cool.
You were never expecting grandmothers.
Just shit.
Celine Caliburn, what are you doing here? You see your ancient grandmother approach you as if she is not 96 years old. She strides
Surprised
across
to
the
see you
room.
here.
I've been dealing with the issues in Wildknock. What are you
As
doing
have
here?
I have come to give my report.
Yes, my lawyers did say you visited Clark Law.
Yes, and I had them email me some files. It looks as though the issue has already been somewhat dealt with, and I will glance around. They did have a bit of a break-in, though I did not instigate that. But they did seem very much in disarray.
Yes, but they haven't
Exactly how you want them, I would assume.
They have not dropped the subpoena, and they have not dropped any of the suits.
In time, I am working on it. Fear not, grandmother.
I see.
It must be a very important case for you to actually come into the office. I believe your office is just as disused as mine is.
I come in from time to time, you understand. I happen to be out and about.
Yes.
And what exactly are you doing with a priest? I didn't see you as a religious type.
He has
well-
local connections in
Miss-
the community.
Yes, Ms. Claiborne has wanted to get opinion of a community leader that is interested in the idea of further enhancing the community itself, which, you know, what's best for the community is best for the people, as far as I see it.
I have no interest in this.
Well, if you don't mind, I have further work to do on this case for you, grandmother.
Very well.
It was lovely to meet you, Miss Claiborne.
It was not a pleasure, Father. And Father John, please roll to face danger for me, please.
What the?
Granny's gonna fuck you up.
If she takes a swing at me, well, luckily I've got a magical ring that gives me bonuses to facing danger.
Since
And
when?
so
Oh, right.
So I'll go ahead and add, along with that, nothing left to lose and devil may care for face danger.
Mm-hmm.
Still a 9.
Okay, a 9 is a mixed success. You are also going to take famished 2. As she ignores you, she does not give you a handshake, but she does look at you very briefly, and in that instant, this gnawing hole opens up in your stomach. Celine, you are very familiar with this hole because you have experienced this wrenching feeling basically every time you've visited your grandmother.
And here I was just thinking it was general stress from being around the woman.
Moving on, where do you meet up?
Before we go, can I look to Celine and say, after her grandmother walks away, while we have the chance, do you think you might be able to see if there's something going on with your grandmother? Yeah. Misty secret things that might be going on. I remember that Lexi had mentioned this earlier.
Yes, wait here a moment.
Just,
and I will walk
just looking at her.
after my grandmother for just a second. Grandmother, one more thing. And can I attempt to look at her, look through the mists at her?
Sure. You're going to roll to investigate, adding plus mythos.
How do I add the plus mythos?
You just add a plus
Yeah,
1.
you just do power.
Plus or minus buttons.
However many
cards you
mythoses you have.
So if you have 2 purple cards, you just do power 2.
Alright, and it's just investigate?
Yes.
A 10.
Excellent. What do you want to know?
I see. Looking at my grandmother. And really looking at her, I feel like Celine, most of her life, has done that. It's a very avoidant eye contact, right? It's a very submissive stance she takes around this woman. And I feel like for the first time, Celine is just going to walk up and square her shoulders and look directly into her grandmother's face.
You regret that almost instantly.
Right.
You are going to take the status Starving 3 immediately. Cool. Despite the fact you rolled a 10, all your clues are going to be fuzzy or incomplete. What I am going to say is that your grandmother's always been sickly thin, but this seems mythical in nature. Her face seems drawn back as if hasn't eaten in months. She is a tight and gnarled woman with muscles of a beast. Not like she's like a bodybuilder, but just tight, lean muscle. What exactly are you doing here, Celine? Why are you looking at me like this?
What are you trying to do to this city?
I'm doing what I've always done. Control it, own it.
Do you feed on it?
That's silly, Celine. What the dukes are you talking about?
You one of us.
What exactly are you implying, Celine?
I have seen beyond the mists, grandmother. I am one who can. Are you like me?
Okay. Celine, roll
Yeah.
to face danger. Take -3
Yeah.
because of your starving status.
Okay. Still a 9.
Okay.
Oh shit, hold on. No, it would have been an 8 because I don't think I should have
Still a,
bullshit detector in Meevold.
still a mixed success. You're going to take a -1 to the status, but with strength that you have never seen before. You are going to be caught up in the hands of your grandmother. You're going to take a status, current status, it might go away, of seized 3 as she holds your neck in her hands and lets out the most awful sound you've ever heard. A deep snarling sound. That is not the sound I wanted. Is this the one I wanted? What did you say to me, Celine?
If she's got me seized, I'm just going to bring up my arm to hers, and my entire bracelet is just going to burst forth in mist energy and then start wrapping around her in like a whip-like flail.
Okay.
Pulling against her arms. And I said, are you like us? And I'm going to yell that us in case Father John has not realized what's happening.
Are you trying to hurt her, or are you trying to
pull
control her?
Off of me. Yeah, I'm trying to control at this point.
Great. I think I want you to please go toe-to-toe. When you use your abilities to overcome someone or something in a struggle for control, state what your goal is. Your opponent can describe how they respond, and then roll plus power. Your goal is to escape?
You still want me minus?
Yes.
3 for starving? Okay. My goal is not gonna happen. I'm not gonna escape because I have a 6.
Okay.
Is there anything John can do after having seen
I'll give you the
this?
spotlight in a second if you say you want to move in. Before your eyes, Celine, you realize that people have seemed to disappeared from this room, and in that instant that you attempt to wrap this around her, your Excalibur whip breaks and it comes shattering down. Maybe you just weren't focused enough. Maybe she overpowered you. You're not sure. But before your eyes, your grandmother transforms into a hideous beast. It looks somewhere between a human and a deer skull. It is monstrous. It is about 7 feet tall, with these huge antlers with decaying flesh falling off of them. And how familiar are you with things that go bump in the night?
Barely?
You are facing off against the Wendigo.
Ah, shit. Okay.
To say your grandmother is a heartless bitch would it be an understatement. She sinks some gnarly teeth into your shoulder, and attempts to like rip muscles from you. You are going to again face danger, or else you will take your seized 3 will turn into savage bite 3.
Hey. 8.
Okay, you're going to take -1 tier, so it will be Savage Bite 2. Though, Ikaj, I will give you the option to rush into this scene and either hit with all you've... Well, you're going to go toe-to-toe to try to take back control.
Yeah, so, like, while this is happening, you just hear, like, from off camera, like, "Hey, you old hag, I lied. It wasn't a pleasure to meet you." And he is going to bring down a fish-smelling microwave on her head. And did you say hit with all you got, or face danger, or go toe-to-toe?
Go toe-to-toe, because you were trying to take control from this person.
11.
Okay, on 11, you're going to choose 2 of the options below. You manage to achieve your goal. This music is very loud. You get to get them good, giving your opponent a status with 2 equal to power, or you block, dodge, or counter their best attempts. If you don't choose this, they can impose a status on you.
Would block, dodge, or counter their best attempt, would that be being able to, like, make her let go of? Then that's going to be number 1 that I do.
Okay.
Or would that be manage to achieve? Okay, so how about manage to achieve your goal, get her to let go, and then block, dodge, or counter. Basically make it so that she stumbles back so she can't, like, immediately try again.
Okay. You're going to give her... no, you don't give her a status. Don't worry. She falls to one knee and lets go of Celine, who falls to the ground. You thankfully did not take the bite, Celine, so do not take that. You can also remove seized, because you're no longer in her control. What do you want to do, Father John, now that you have taken back control of the scene?
I grab Celine's arm and we get the hell out of there.
Okay. Luke, are you okay with that?
Yeah.
As you do, you hear a screech, an angry growl from the Wendigo as you run out of the scene, and suddenly it's as if nothing had happened. You walk back into the world as if that didn't just happen.
And if we can get out, we just keep running, I'd say.
Sounds good. Where do you meet the others?
The mayor? Mirror?
Unless we want to, like, try and meet it.
No, I think it would be good to take a couple minutes to prep at the mirror.
Yeah. Yeah, I'd say the mirror then.
Yeah.
I'll, like, message you or on me. Message on me.
Really quick though, Proper, did we find any sort of hidey hole where we think the creature had gone to?
I do not believe so.
Okay. Cool.
Metally, in the meta, you know where it is.
Cool. Yeah, I think Lexi is, like, reheating some food from the back, and, like, looking around for gear, basically.
Mommy
Whatever
has
that-
definitely brought Taco Shack and is eating no less than 3 chicken quesadillas.
Yeah, anything to get rid of that gnawing hunger.
I am going to walk in. I'm sure just kind of absent-mindedly, like smoothing my hair in some sort of weird, barely contained panic. Do you know what I mean? Like, just like, everything is fine. Do you know what I mean? And I'm just gonna come right in, all manners temporarily forgotten, and pluck up one of these tacos and just shove it in my face, smearing some sauce and whatnot on all over my chin.
Is there any like
down at the bar and chill?
Is there any like bruising on Celine?
I'm sure I look a wreck.
Or at least red mark.
Yeah, something. I'm sure clothing is torn. I'm sure there's some sort of strangulation, bruising, or redness, you know.
Hey, you made it. What the
John walks in
fuck
and slams the door and
happened?
puts a chair against it.
What happened?
Oh,
You were just supposed to go to the office.
yeah, I thought that would be the safest place. Boy, was that wrong.
What do you mean?
I mean, we met the queen beast herself.
Heart of ice.
Saying that,
saying-
Luca?
What?
Saying that, Luca. What does Celine know about the Wendigo?
Just that it's an old First Nations type of, I don't know if they have that in City of Mist, but that it's an old, like, local sort of, myth. It's a creature that usually eats human flesh. It's got a heart of ice. Sometimes it's missing a heart, needs a heart. You know, the myths vary, but like basically it is a thin, typically evil creature because it has no heart or a heart of ice that devours others.
Very good. How much do you know about where your grandmother grew up?
Whatever she has shared with me.
It's your narrative. You tell me what you know.
Where she grew up?
Or how.
She hasn't shared a whole lot of detail with me.
Okay.
I would assume that most of her life was spent growing up on the Caliburn estate, much like mine.
Okay. And how much do you know about your grandfather?
Nothing, near nothing at least.
Okay.
Like,
So-
I feel like I never knew him. It's always been her, you know, as the leader of the family in my memory.
Okay, team, what's your plan?
Right now I am just eating this taco and trying to, like, sort my shit out.
We can count this as another downtime if you want to do something mechanically here as you prep for your next activity. But tell me what you're thinking and where you think this is leading.
Well, I think the big question that Lexi has for Celine is just like kind of sitting down and saying, what do you want to do? Because like, and there's a lot of a kind of energy of like, I will absolutely fuck this woman up because she hurt you
Yeah,
and
your
has kept
hatred.
hurting you for years.
Yeah, your hatred of her, if nothing else, this is a free pass for you to finally be like, finally, I have a reason to beat this woman up. I am going to look up and say I found records of a playground above an old cave. All I could think was wood chips.
That makes sense. So she was the one who went and took the lawyer away. I don't know how to stop her from having her rift. I don't know how to put her back to sleep. And that's kind of where she'll leave that sentence, I think. Just like the implication being, the only thing I know how to do to stop these people has been violence and like a couple of very rare situations where we have been able to,
if she is what
do something extraordinary.
What I think she is, then her heart must be somewhere.
Like,
There is a strange old box with a strange lock on it that she has kept in her home office for as long as I can remember.
So what? We go to your estate and we destroy the Horcrux? Is that what you're saying?
That would probably kill her.
Father John is saying this while like shoveling handfuls of bar peanuts in his mouth.
There are shitty 6-inch pizzas available now.
I'm absolutely eating them.
Like
grease
Celeste
and all.
pizzas. Or
I'm
whatever it's
not
called.
even patting down the grease like normal. I'm just shoving them in my face. Yes, it probably would kill her. But I think we should go anyway.
What's the plan, Stan?
Go to the Caliburn mansion?
Okay. Despite the fact that this is where you live, Celine, you're going to get some resistance, as your grandmother now knows you know her secret. How are you going to get in without alerting the guards?
Like all old mansions of this type, there are old tunnels beneath.
This is an excellent and very in-genre move to make. I like this. I'm going to ask you to change the game, which you'll use any juice you generate to make the tunnel. The greater the success, the easier it will be to access the office from these tunnels. Does that make sense?
All right. Change the game. I still got minus to everything?
No, because this is not physically about your body.
Okay, all right, because then, yeah, all right.
It's kind
I'm
of a
gonna
luck
re-roll
thing.
then, because that was a terrible roll. It was all my minuses. All right. 5.
Unfortunately, that means that there is the tunnel you attempt to go to has since caved in.
Okay.
We're gonna need to find an alternate solution.
Through the old greenhouse, then. That has since fallen to neglect. It's old. The windows, all of the glass panes are like frosted over with not being cleaned or taken care of, tended to.
Okay, since you've already
near
rolled,
the edge
changed
of
the
the
game, and
property.
failed, I'm going to say that this does exist, but I'm going to ask for
Okay.
all of you to sneak around to try to get him without being noticed.
Okay.
You can feel free to use help points on anyone that you have them on, and describe to me how you're using them if you do. You can always wait
still have
until
some on
after
you,
the roll
Lexi.
to decide if you want to use them.
Hey, Proper, what's the weather like?
This is a great question. I established at the beginning of the episode that it has started to rain, so I'll say that it's cloudy. It's kind of been sporadic showers throughout the day. It's that thing where like it'll rain for 20 minutes as a torrential downpour, and then all of a sudden just kind of generally hazy.
Ami, I have a help for you as well.
I've got 2 health points for Ami.
I have a great success on my sneak around.
Excellent. Chrissy, what'd you roll?
6, but with everybody's help, are we including that?
If they can all tell you, it'd be 7, 8, 9. So I can give you a mixed success. If you just do plus 1, it'll be 7. It'll be a mixed success. Who wants to help Ami?
I will.
How does Ami? How do you almost slip up? And Celine, how do you fix it?
How would Ami probably mess this up? Well, listen, she's not made for like traversing tunnels.
You're the youngest one, and you are traversing through a greenhouse.
Yeah, but she likes computers and doesn't go outside much. So
She's a nerd.
duh. I would say she's probably walking through and knocks something off of a table or a vase off of like an important spot, and she goes to like catch it and
I will-
probably.
Okay, sounds good to me. You have mixed success, so I think I'm gonna look up what that means. And Lexi, how'd you roll?
Fucking sick, bro. 13.
Excellent. You are like no one even notices you're there for some reason. And Father John.
5.
We can give you 2 help points if someone wants to. Again, you'll narrate how you almost slipped up and how both of you helped fix the situation, if we have enough.
I think the only person who might have the help to do that is Ami.
I only have 1, but I'll give it.
Yeah,
won't
don't. It's
change
the same
anything.
thing.
It's not worth it because it's not, yeah.
On a 7-9, it's complicated. Either someone unimportant noticed you, but that just made them important, right? You are perceived only by a secondary sense. Someone picks up your scent or whispering a message, or you must leave something important behind or be discovered. Which one of it was it that you was, Christy, you rolled a 7, right? So, I'll say for yours, you must leave something important behind. What are you leaving behind? Unless that was I'm leaving myself behind. I'm just not coming.
I don't know. I'm trying to think of what all she's probably carrying. I'll say she probably drops. Fuck it. I'll say she drops her cell phone.
Okay, sounds good to me. Ikaj, what I will say is the 3 of them were able to make it into the building without anyone noticing. Someone notices you, though. And that's not a good sign. You hear as walkie-talkies start engaging and people start mumbling something about an intruder. What do you do?
So, what is the?
The 3 of them have made it inside. You have not.
Okay.
There are security guards all around this old mansion, and they'll be coming into your location very shortly if you do not escape.
I'm trying to think like what is around that, like, I see like an escape route or like someplace
So
I can hide,
you
or...
can feel free to narrate the scene however you like. You know you're at Caliburn Mansion. You know that Celine knows this place very well. It is in the old part of the town. It is extravagant. It is, there's probably hedges and whatnot. You can tell me that you try to escape. You can try to, start fighting these people, or you can change the game in some way and add something to the scene. So you can add a what's it called, a story tag, and or an effect, and so you can add it. You can create a story tag and give yourself some benefit that you can try to use to escape or hide.
Can I try to change the game?
How do you want to do it?
So John's gonna like hit, take a knee behind like an old hedge, and like just like put his hands up and be like, "Look, I know it's been rough, but I could really use a little bit of help right now." And he's just gonna try and pray that maybe a distraction happens. Like, I'm imagining like maybe like a stray dog like runs across the field, and that distracts the people.
That's
and
fine.
Security.
Roll for me with whatever you feel is an appropriate power tag. You let me know what they are, and we'll see if it goes your way.
I think for this, the only thing I could do is a silver cross and a righteous man.
You're praying to God, hypothetically, so go for it.
That's a 4.
Even that's 2 1s plus 2 is a 4. Wow.
Last time I did this, I killed everyone. So when I rolled that bad.
To be fair, that was stop holding back, so you're good.
I know.
Unfortunately, God does not answer your prayers this evening.
Makes sense. It's John.
And they descend on your location almost immediately. We're gonna cut from you and go to the 3 that made it inside. Celine, Lexi, and Ami, you hear people's radios around the house suddenly click to life, and they are mentioning seeing someone trying to enter the building through the greenhouse. What do you do?
I will say, up this way. Hurry, we don't have much time.
You follow the corridor around, and you make it to your grandmother's office. As you described earlier, there is a large ornate box in a place that makes it look like it's just a knick-knack or something that she found on her travels, something like that. Lord knows she hasn't traveled in quite a long time. You can tell me what it looks like, if it's unique or interesting, or if it's just trying to hide in plain sight.
It's old and heavy looking, with a large iron padlock on it, and just really intricate wooden carvings all over it.
How are you getting into it? There should be an obvious answer.
I am going to form my bracelet into a very thin, sharp sword and just slice at it. At the lock.
It is Excalibur. Your lock is going to slide off like it's been cut. Like it's butter being cut by a knife.
Cool. Okay, I will turn to Lex the door. Watch the door. And I will look at Ami. I don't know what is about to happen, so be ready. And I will open the lid of the box.
Inside, you find exactly what you hoped you would never find, but you knew it would be there. It is a heart. It has been severed from the body, and it is still beating. It looks much too large to be an old woman's heart, but as if it's like part beast. But this thing is pumping its way inside this old wooden box. And that is when you hear this a very familiar snarling sound coming from outside the door.
From beneath Lexi's trench coat, we get the first look at the item that Lexi was given last time. Having met the Forge Master, Roxy?
Yes.
Lexi was like, at some point, we're gonna need something that is strong but made mostly of silver. And so, an axe, way too big to be used by any normal person, slides from under her coat and just gleams in the like pale moonlight coming through the what I imagine to be like tall, like 12-foot windows on one side of this office.
You see it down the hallway, exactly as Celine described. A 7 to 8 foot tall beast, long, thick antlers with decaying bits of flesh hanging off of them, and it lets out a growl that's so intense that you can smell the rotting flesh from here.
Okay. Where's Ami right now?
Standing at the ready, probably off to the side where she walked into the space and had Celine tell her to stay prepared. So she is holding her big stick at the ready.
Here she comes. And I think the thing that Lexi wants to do right now is buy time. So she's going to like move a little bit down the hall, wait for the sound of the Wendigo's movement to be like near her, and then just Kool-Aid Man it through the wall to surprise it.
Okay, Christy, that means that Ami is left basically alone at the moment. What do you want to do? I'll give you the spotlight first.
Well, she is standing, so I guess let me re-ask. Maybe I misunderstand the layout of what's happening. So Lexi has walked through the doors that we essentially walked into the office. Lexi has walked out of the doors, out of the office, into the hallway.
Mm-hmm.
Celine is still in the office with the box.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so
somewhere further down the hallway is the Wendigo.
Okay, all right. So I picture Ami standing in between probably where Celine and where she thinks Lexi is heading, like on the other side of the door.
Lexi, are you going through the door or are you going through the wall? Because you're trying to sneak up on them. Right?
I'm Kool-Aid Manning it through the wall. Yes.
Okay, so
Yes.
The way I'm imagining
axe, by
it,
the way, is called Labris.
The way that I'm imagining it, what is it called, Labris?
The axe.
Oh, okay. Sorry, I thought you said that is called. What I'm imagining, Chrissy, is the doors are open. And so you're standing in the doorway, and Lexi has disappeared into the walls to try to get around and sneak up on from behind.
Yeah. So Ami's standing kind of in that doorway. She would have taken a stance to where she could see down the hall, but isn't making her way out of the doorway yet.
Sounds good. On that note, then, Celine, what are you doing?
I am, as I'm like staring at what's inside the box, I will actually just shorten my blade into a small pointed dagger and go to plunge it into the heart.
Are you going to use it as a... like, are you trying to prevent her from attacking anyone, or are you just going for it?
I am just going for it. I like, while they've been positioning, I've just been sitting here staring at this heart. And having reached my decision, I will just form the blade to be a little shorter into a dagger and raise it up and go for the plunge.
I'll say that the Wendigo sees you from down the hall, and as soon as she knows what you're doing, she screams. It echoes down the hallway and hits all of you, kind of resonating in that hungry feeling that all of you have. I would say that this needs to be a silver weapon, but it's literally a magic sword. As long as everyone at the table is okay with it, still the same. And as soon as you plunge it straight into the heart in front of you, the Wendigo screeches in pain. And you watch as parts of the Wendigo's body crack and fall off. Some of them are sloughing off in like a disgusting, rotting way. Parts of it are crumbling as if she's aging overnight. And the scream slowly dies out as the Wendigo vision, or the body of the Wendigo starts to rend itself from Morgana's body, and you are left with the body of Morgana Caliburn dead on the ground. She is naked, and she looks way older than she did in the office building or earlier that morning. She is... I mean, I hate to take a fight scene away from you, Vermin, but she is dead.
After hearing that, I will just close the lid on the box and walk over to her seat behind her desk and just sit down.
And I think as we watch the scene, Lexi steps out from behind the wall and finds the body of Morgana on the ground. Ami slowly puts down her stick, and we watch as John is taken into custody by the security outside. And Luca, you tell me, what's the last thing we see on Celine's face as she comes to terms with what she just did?
You will see her mask of propriety just kind of slide in across her face. So far, there's been like a lot of emotion and feeling, and as she just sits down and looks around at her desk and then up at everyone, it'll just be kind of everything just slides in and it's impassive. And she is setting about to the task before her.
With that, we're going to close off this episode. I'm going to give us a short epilogue after we've all said our goodbyes. Thank you very much for a very excellent episode for Madness Calls It Forth. I cannot get names right today. Luca, you are first. If you want to tell us what you're up to in the next upcoming weeks, and any final thoughts you have about Celine.
A lot of thoughts about Celine, but rather than going into all of them, I'll just say, like on a personal note, me, Luca, the player, feel really bad for just killing my grandma, because my relationship with my grandma in real life could not be more different. But
we'll have a quick aftercare meeting once we finish the Zoom call.
No, it's fine. It's fine. Yeah, I'm Luke Locke. You can find me in all sorts of things, namely tomorrow in our weekly Fragments campaign, which is a Demiplane of Dread campaign that runs every week on Tuesdays here on TPK Roleplay, and then I will be back after that on Saturday for Dark Echoes, my Curse of Strahd campaign that I run every other Saturday morning here on TPK Roleplay. For everything else, check the schedule on our website, the calendar, and you can just see everything I'm in coming up there. And that's it for me.
Chrissy.
Yes, hello. This has been a wild ride. Where can you find me, Chrissy, the player? This week is my busy week, so I'm here tonight with this wonderful crew, and then I'm back again tomorrow evening for the TPK doubleheader. They have Fragments in the morning, and then in the evening, you can find me with a group of I don't even know what to call us right now.
Also mythical beasts.
Yeah, mythical beasts. We'll go with that. I was gonna say something like about troublemaking, but that's fine. In our Oath Sworn campaign, an Odyssey of the Dragon Lords, and then again on Thursday for Queen's Gambit. And Queen's Gambit is a big deal right now because we are finishing up. I'm probably gonna mess this up. If Magic is in the chat or around, he can fix me like what I'm saying, but we're like ending the Horde of the Dragon Queen and moving into the Rise of Tiamat. So this has been a really intense campaign, and we are moving into a more intense part of it. So it's pretty exciting. And then from there, you can just find me around doing all the things. Yeah, that's it. Okay, thanks.
Vermin.
What's up, everybody? I am Legendary Vermin. You can find me as Legendary Vermin on all the places on the internet that matter, which is, of course, Itch, Twitch, Twitter, and I guess YouTube. I meticulously collect all of the VODs of shows that I'm in on YouTube, and you can find those, anytime you'd like. I have games for sale on Itch. Go check them out. And if you like what I do here and you're like, I want to see more of that gal, you can go to legendaryvermin.com/live to get a running list of all of the shows that I'm in. This coming Saturday, starting at 4, we have Against the Light. I think it's actually episode 6, but I've got it written down that it's episode 7. That campaign is like 3 episodes from the end. It's really heating up. It's super exciting. We get to face the consequences, upsides and downsides of all of our actions. So pretty cool stuff. Not this Wednesday, but next Wednesday, the 11th, you can catch me here for Hubris of Man. That is our alien ongoing campaign. We have found out that the alien Cold War is about to become a very hot war full of xenomorphs, and that's terrifying. So yeah, come check that out. I do fun costumes for all my shows, so please come visit me. That's all. That's all I got.
Hey folks, Ekaj the Orc here. Coming up, I think the next thing I've got coming up is a week from tomorrow. Next Tuesday is going to be the next episode of Harper's Variants, where if you haven't tuned into that yet, it is us, the Harper's group, hopping from reality to reality, which we do by hopping from tabletop role-playing game system to system to system. Started off in D&D. Last week or last month was Scum and Villainy, and now we're heading out west to the Deadlands, so definitely excited for that. Otherwise, you can catch me on the Discord, or occasionally I'll happen to sneak my way into other games, but you can find me on the Discord. You can find me on Instagram, Twitter. I have occasional TikToks, which I haven't done in a while, I need to get to, but you can find me all there listed as Ekaj the Orc. But come and join the Discord, see all the funny things we make and the memes I post.
Last but not least, my name is Prepper Nerdy. I'm a TPK staff member, role player, game master, and sometimes game designer. My most exciting information that's recent is that I have created a generational game on StorySynth, which is a free platform for playing games with friends online. You can play generational on StorySynth either by checking out their website at storysynth.com, I want to say, or the link in the chat for my game directly. And I'm not doing a lot lately, but you can check us back in 4 weeks. I believe it's May 30th is our next episode of this game. Madness Calls It Forth. And so I hope you all had an excellent evening and good night. Before we do, I do want to have a quick epilogue. Vermin, this is sometime after your experience with Ami, and you where do you want to be? You're about to fall asleep. Are you in bed? You fall asleep at the bar by accident? What do you want?
Actually, given what just happened, let's say that she's kind of sitting up, like smoking a cigarette, but like, and in Celine's brownstone, just like on a chair in, I don't know, in some room.
Then I'll
we'll leave
revise
that up to the camera and somebody's imagination.
I'll revise that. You are waiting for Celine, and she seems to be just getting straight to work. She does not want to give you time of day. And as you're sitting there smoking, you watch as the smoke from one of your cigarettes coalesces in front of you. And before you know it, it's all around you. And the smoke is no longer smoke from your cigarette, but smoke from a building that's on fire. And it comes in slowly, and then all at once, you are sitting in a park bench, looking out across the city, and it is chaos. There is a sky of blood red, and high above you, you see a tower that isn't normally there. It reaches high into the sky and looks like it's still in construction. And all around you, people are fighting, and the wind is picking up, and you are in the riot. The end.
I'm home again.